All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible weekend. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. Had a good weekend. I had my girls home, so we spent a lot of time together. Had a lot of fun. We had our family annual ping pong tournament over at my brother-in-law's house. So
Annual family ping pong tournament. Look at
yeah,
that.
he's got a cup and everything, and so he engraves people's names on it every time. My youngest won it 2 years in a row. The first 2 years. This is the third year annual competition. Her boyfriend won this time, so yeah, every year it's a tradition now.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Um, Friends, welcome. Hopefully, everybody's doing well today. Let's get to some of the stuff happening this morning. Again, a lot going on this gappers list, and not often do we see this ticker, Peter, leading the way today above all gappers, up 8%. Tesla. So that's a big elephant in the room this morning and over the weekend with everything going on. We'll get into all of that and a bunch of other stuff looking good. Overall market also hitting all-time highs this pre-market session. I mean, just everything on GOMO bullish here, Peter. So and we got the Fed rate cut around the corner. So just a whole lot happening or going to happen in the next couple of days. So let's get into what's happening for today, this morning.
Yeah, not much actually. It's pretty light. We only have one thing of note, and even that is not really a big economic event. And this is the New York State Manufacturing Survey. This is a relative survey of manufacturers as to how they're feeling about the economy and their business. Anything above zero is considered bullish, and anything below zero is considered bearish. And in fact, I can update it right now because the number's out. The expected number was 4.3 on the relative scale. Came in at negative 8.7. So manufacturers in New York not feeling that hot about the prospects in the month of September. So a little bit of a negative number there. That being said, the market seems to be ignoring it. I'm not surprised. So, really, no reaction to that. And that's it for today. Look, this week, I trust everybody by now knows the 17th, right? That is what, Wednesday? That's when the Fed is supposed to announce the rate cut. Everybody expects it to be a rate cut, but it'll be the rate, the Fed rate, whether it's a cut or not. Anyways, 2 o'clock on Wednesday. That's basically what the markets are going to be waiting for. So we could have, I think we're going to have quiet sort of economic data today, tomorrow, and Wednesday morning until that rate announcement comes out. And then, well, we'll talk about that as we get closer. So this weekend, the big news seemed to be, we'll see it when we get to the gappers list. And hey, the Emmys were last night. I didn't.
I
I don't know.
saw some of that as far as the
I
updates, like the
really I didn't watch it.
headlines. No, not like watch it on TV. Like some of the
Oh,
headlines, with some of the shows that won a bunch of awards. I feel like just Apple TV shows took over the whole damn thing. And based on what the alerts I was looking at, right? It's just
well,
insane. So, interesting.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, let's face it. The Studio. I don't know if you watched that. I did watch that. It's a good show. But Hollywood loves to recognize their own stuff. You make a
yeah,
show about Hollywood, and you're almost guaranteed of winning some awards.
yeah.
That being said, I was glad to see in the drama series, the Pit one. I don't know if you watched the Pit, but if you want like
No.
a realistic ER drama. That thing is the whole season happens in one shift. So
Hmm.
like every hour of the show is an hour of work. It is
Oh,
it's intense. Like you
that's interesting. Yeah.
actually watch a woman give birth. You actually like it's intense, man. Like so get ready for
Yeah.
it. But it's an awesome show. It's very
Yeah.
well done. Noah Wiley won best actor for drama series and that. Anyways. it's
Yeah, I saw Severance. I know you watched that one. That one won a couple. Studio won a ton. I mean, they took the show. I saw Studio. It was different. My wife didn't like it, but I liked it because it was different than what you're used to seeing, right? The camera angles, the way that she didn't like the way the camera moves. Like I don't like this movement of the camera because it's a little bit weird. It's kind of like somebody running around. There's not a lot of
right.
stabilization on it, so it's different. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Um, all right, friends, let's get to it. This gappers list, obviously, let's go straight to it, guys. Elephant in the room is Tesla today, up 8%. Elon going all in on this thing, Peter. I mean, what an awesome reaction we're having over not just this morning, but the last couple of days. I mean, just look at this daily go here, and it's just rocking, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm a little confused at the headlines, but basically, yeah, Elon has decided to. Oh no, I guess that's why the look at the stock price went up. Okay, um, I makes sense now. Anyways, Elon, for the first time in 5 years, has said that he is reinvesting in Tesla, making a clear statement that he believes that Tesla is undervalued. I've sort of forgot where the price closed on Friday, actually, because I didn't realize it had closed at 390 plus. And of course, this morning we're gapping up well above 400 because he bought about 2.5 million shares, which everyone say, worth approximately 1 billion. And I was doing the math, but I was thinking $300, but I guess my brain is a couple of days behind in the actual price. So there you go. And look, based on, well, depending on when he actually bought, did he actually buy them yet? Or is he thinking of it? I'm not sure. But anyways, that might cost him more than a billion, or he might just have made a bunch of money. Anyways, you got to love it when somebody can buy basically their own stock and immediately the market appreciates it such that they make instant money. Like it's a beautiful thing, really. So yeah, assuming that he bought and completed the full sale by Friday, which usually they try and complete the sale before the announcement, which would make
Right.
sense. He's yeah, he's already sitting pretty on some money. Now, will it hold that? I don't know, but one way or the other, Tesla, absolutely one of the top stocks in play this morning. It's normally on our list. Today it's to me top of the list.
Yeah, front and center this morning for sure will be on my list already there on the primary. Let's take a look at what's next. Billy. Wow, good Billy. We had some good times with Billy. Not Billy, but Billy the ticker. We had some great times in the past when all the Chinese tickers were in play. Today they're up 6%. Pre-market action not all that exciting right now. I wonder if there are any other Chinese tickers on here, and there is. I see IonQ, I see Baba. Yeah, they've been creeping up slowly. Like if you look at Baba, all these Chinese stocks, they've been making a quiet move. Intraday has not been great. I think Baba only had one day in the last 2 weeks. I could have been like, oh wow, should have definitely been watching this. But man, their daily has come alive. I mean, just look at Baba here. Look at in the last month and a half or so, quiet, nothing happening. Since September or just before that, we've been seeing an increase in volume, as you can see down here, and it's reflecting nicely in their charts. Just don't know how well, Peter, these are going to trade as far as intraday.
Yeah, they have not been trading all that well in the past, have they? At least in the past couple of months. But yes, they're higher. Whether you want to watch Billy or Baba, like you've got on the screen, or PDD or JD, or there's all sorts of them out there. I find it, somewhat ironic, amusing, anyways, that we're measuring the success of the Chinese stocks based on the U.S. stock market. It feels a little odd, but anyways, I guess if they're traded, then why not? Chinese companies will absolutely take American money or international money. Um, they are, yeah, doing well this morning. It seems like the Chinese economy is doing fine, despite the 145% tariffs in some cases on some goods from the Trump administration. The China more or less is saying whatever, and their economy is continuing
Yeah.
to chug along. Now, again, I've been skeptical for a while about how well it's actually doing because the economic data seems a little lighter, and the Chinese government has typically liked to put sort of a little rosy glow on things occasionally. That being said, look, it's been persistent, the news that there are, that they are faring okay in the Chinese economy. But then we get these weird little snippets every once in a while, right? There'll be another one of these real estate trusts that has some problems. And remember, there was a financing news about one about 2 weeks ago that came out. So I'm not really sure what to believe, but at this point, if the stocks are in play, then I'm happy to, in the short term make some money off it. I definitely can tell you none of this stuff sits in my long term portfolio at this point. It feels too risky. So,
Yeah, yeah,
what to do with it
absolutely.
today? Yeah, I'm not sure what to do with it today, Carlos. It looks okay pre-market, but we've seen these things. Billy doesn't have a lot of volume really, despite being up. It's just over the threshold to be on our list, and they usually sort of just fizzle off. It looks like a lot of the moves happen after hours, and they just don't play well during market hours.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. I'm the only one that I'm willing to even put on a secondary is going to be Baba. Again, I do like the way this thing trades when it is in play. Again, significant volume today. 1 million shares traded, up 3%. I think that's worth a secondary list here. And we'll track it. And there's some other ones if you like Peter mentioned, JD, PDD, Billy. These are all doing some stuff this morning. All right, let's put Bob on the list to pick your favorites out of all of those there that are showing up on our Trading Terminal Gappers list, guys. You can head over there to tradingterminal.com. You can get all these tools plus more. So much going on there with our biggest feature being the funded account that you can get access to. Get grandfathered in, and don't miss out on that because prices will eventually go up when all the full features are up and running. So take advantage of that. Here's Open is next on the list. We are up 5.8 this morning, 11 million shares trade. I feel like the stock trades a lot of shares, and you could tell here on the daily too. What was it, Thursday? 1.1 billion is what I'm showing here. I mean, that is massive. I know the stock is a little lower on the price. Still, I feel like that's a lot of volume. Peter, do you have handy what's their average daily volume? It looks to be pretty high here compared to even
Uh,
on small days.
Well,
So
obviously it's been somewhat skewed by recent activity, but on average, yeah, they're
yeah,
doing about 416 million
yeah.
volume. So yeah, it's pretty good over the
It is
last couple
pretty
of months.
good because even on August, like their low volume days here is still like 250 million. So again, it's pretty high here.
Yeah.
Day looks amazing. What's your thoughts on this one? Would it be on your list today?
I mean, I did trade it last week, so it was one that I certainly was watching at times. Friday's price action was a little challenging, I think, to really take advantage of. But like you said, with that volume, it's in play. So hey, look, it's still in play. I'm not sure what to tell you. It's still in play. It's not my favorite industry, but if these stocks are in play, why not? If you can make money off it, then by all means. I notice on my platform it's short sale restricted at this point, which means you can short it, but it's got to be on an uptick. So they have put a
Yeah,
little bit of a restriction on there, making it a little more difficult to get into a short. So we'll
yeah.
we'll see what it does. Probably worth watching just to see what happens. But I'd have to see a very lovely, nice, perfect sort of pattern for me to take the risk of jumping into it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like that part of it, but for the most part, it looks very active. I think it's worth again another secondary that looks good. And again, if you're wondering if you're new, why it's an SSR, it's triggered because of Thursday's action. If you see Thursday, we ramped up all the way to 1050, but then we gapped down pretty decent on Friday. So that triggered the SSR there, and the SSR is going to go for a couple of days. So even though we're gapping up here 6.6, the SSR will continue. Is it 2 days, Peter? What's the number? I think it's 2 days, right? Two trading days.
2 trading days, yeah,
Yeah,
usually.
yep. So that's why. All right, so open on the secondary. Let's go to the list here. Then we talked about Billy already. Joby, which has been making some noise lately, is also on here again today. Up 5.6 this time, 2.1 million shares traded. Let's see how he traded Friday because we did see this, but we really didn't. Again, gapped up pretty good on Friday. We didn't really have it on the list. Maybe a secondary. I don't recall watching it closely. Not a horrible, but not great, right? We did get a nice little drop here. There were some opportunities. Looks like a nice 5 minute opening range breakdown at some point here. But yeah, today they're up 2.1 million shares traded. Daily looks like it's trying to rebound here, Peter. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, look, I continue to be nervous about the prospect of this aerial flight, especially unmanned aerial flight. Because if I'm going to be in something flying, I want the pilot to be there with me. At least I know they're putting their life on the line as well as mine. But in any event, these are getting a boost today. They're getting some lift off, pun completely intended, because of the White House. President Trump announced that they are starting a flying vehicle development program, which is actually going to allow active testing of these eVTOL vehicles, right? These electric vertical takeoff vehicles before the FAA has fully certified them. So in typical President Trump fashion, he says, "To heck with my regulatory industries. I'm going to let you fly them, even if they're not yet safety approved by the FAA. The FAA is old, stodgy, and fuddy-duddy, and they're taking too long. Safety? What the heck? Who cares about that, man? Let's go, baby." So
And
yeah,
what could go
Joby's gonna.
wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Anyways, I'm being a little flippant with that, but he's but it is it scares me. Like these things scare me because it's just it seems like again there could be great appreciation in these from a stock. I love the prospect long term, right? I think that this sort of makes a lot of sense. It can actually improve urban mobility and all sorts of so good things can happen, but I'm not sure that I'd want to do it sort of, before they're safe. Bottom line.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So it's that prospect that concerns me. That being said, it's moving this morning. We're moving higher, as we can see, with Joby gapping up about 5% on some decent volume, 2 million shares. So, probably worth keeping an eye on. Let's see. Let's see if it flies or dies.
That's very drastic, but I like it. I like it. It can stick. All right. I'm gonna add it to the secondary. I like the pre-market. I like the volume. And again, if it can get some lift here as we continue with the theme, hopefully we can get something out
There
of
you
it.
go. It's a good
Yeah,
pun
there you
there
go.
too.
Just
Get some
sneak it
lift.
right in there.
I like it.
Let's look at two more, and then we'll hop around because there are some good names that we want to get to here. Let's look at RCLV, and then one more, and then we'll go to you, Peter. RZLV this morning we're up 5%. Daily doesn't look all that interesting to me. I mean, we have been moving here all month. Looks like we're rallying out of like some really low prices. Pre-market action, I don't know where this 1.6 million shares are. I see it very, very quiet pre-market action as far as movement, right? Compared to like a Joby or anything else that you're seeing this morning, it's got a lot more movement in it. So, gonna skip it for now. Peter, I'm not gonna be in my list, but we can't deny that daily has been rallying pretty nice here.
Yeah, it had been. Today they're getting a little bit of press as they already previously announced that they, like so many other companies, have a treasury strategy. In this case, their Tether is their chosen cryptocurrency, the stable coin that they're going to use, and they're getting some support from the USAT Genius Act. So it's giving them a little bit of a boost. Like you said, my opinion, probably not worth paying attention to. When you got something like Tesla, that's moving so much on the news today, why would you want to go playing around with RZLV? In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there'll be better things to watch here. And then let's do one more here, and then we'll hop around here. HSAI, another one very similar to the one we just saw. Again, it just doesn't look great pre-market. Very light volume, 300,000 shares traded. Hesai sounds like an Asian company, so maybe it's moving up with all the Chinese tickers. I'm not sure here. But again, I don't really like the pre-market action. Volume on the daily also seems very low. So again, just probably won't have it on my list here, Peter, unless you have anything to share on this.
No, I mean, yes, I do have something to share. Still don't think it's worth trading. I agree with you. This is a Chinese auto manufacturer, and they just announced that they signed a $40 million LiDAR contract with a leading U.S. robotaxi company, but they have not specifically named who this U.S. leading U.S. robotaxi company is. So I think it's just led to some speculation. Probably not a good active trader.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's Peter, let's go to you. What do you like off this list, or maybe something that's gapping up? Look at this. Look at this, Peter. MP on the list today. Remember that where we had our mental breakdown. We both had a mental breakdown on MP going back a
I
couple of weeks. It
I
happens.
do.
It happens. We teach this on the onboarding class, which by the way will be tonight by Dwayne is going to cover me today. We talk about this, technology, strategy, and psychology, these three pillars. And psychology is the one that no matter how long you've been trading, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to be in that pillar. Usually it is, right? And not to pick on the best trader I know, but for example, when Andrew makes a mistake, right? Because we all do it, right? I'm not picking on him, but he's the best one, so we, got to shoot at the top. It's usually his psychology. Like when he goes in a stock that he shouldn't be in, he's like, I shouldn't be in this trade. It's usually his psychology, not his technology, not his strategy, and that happens to all of us. And we had that with MP, and you saw it
Yep.
live here. So, again, something to be aware about. So, just a reminder onboarding class tonight at 8 p.m. So, if you join, you get access to that live with questions with Dwayne. Will be there. I might be in the chat, but I won't be able to host it this evening. So, yeah, join us there. It will be a lot of fun. So Peter, this one, it's what else do you like on here besides MP?
I'm surprised to see Oracle still making its presence known on the list. Oracle, normally it has earnings and then it's sort of gone the next day, but Oracle's been hanging around. Huge move, if you guys remember last week, right? Up 30% after earnings were very positive. They talked about a big AI backlog and increased their guidance and everything, right? And look, it's still on the move, making some moves here this morning. So I'm very surprised by that. Will it be tradable? Tough to say. I mean, if you look at the daily chart, you can see the day in which it popped up significantly. It's more or less been selling off since, but that means that there's a little room for it to recover. So this thing could go either way. Might be worth watching. It's tough to say, right? I'm skeptical. I might put it on a secondary list though, just to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, yeah. I will as well, man. This looks again, just look at this pre-market right now. It looks very good. I like the daily. We have an increase in volume, so that might continue for the next couple of days as they enjoy this gap up they had last week. So Oracle on the secondary, Peter. Anything else?
I mean, I from a gap up perspective, surprised to see Apple gapping higher this morning. Apple's been sort of beaten up a lot. I feel like opinion has moved against Apple. Not a lot of, people aren't totally wowed, I guess, by their latest iPhone offering and announcement. Better battery life, it's thinner, whatever. Elon, in fact, was taking some pot shots at Apple over the last couple of days, but nothing to take too serious. But Apple's gapping up on better than average volume, not massive volume, 1.2 million shares. About this time, it's usually slightly under a million shares. So yeah, it looks like it's in play today. What is it going to do? Not sure, but might be worth keeping an eye on. And what else from gapping up? I mean, gapping up, we've got AMD is up while Nvidia is down. I'm not sure if that means anything, but I found that I noticed that AMD said my good buddy was gapping higher this morning. So I'll,
Yeah.
as always, like to keep an eye on the semis just because they move nice. So.
Yep, agreed. We'll put both of them on here. I'm gonna put them both on the secondary. They won't stay there. I'll put one up. Just want to see which one I'm gonna look at. But right now, both of them for the most part. All right, if that's what you got on the gap up, let's take a look at what's gapping down today. We have a couple on here, SONN. We've seen plenty of times. Sonnet Biotherapeutics gapping down this morning about 12%. Hard to borrow. Again, normally not a stock that we look at. It's a low flow stock sitting at 6.4%. So again, nothing we really want to see on here. So I'm going to keep it off the list. Peter, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I would agree. Not the news isn't really all that great. It's worth it doesn't feel like it's going to be a big jumper here. In fact, I don't, it's just Yeah, I don't like it. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't like it.
yeah.
It's a biotech. It's one of those that it's Monday, so I'm surprised we don't have more biotechs here. So
Yeah, it's shockingly and not much in the gap up. But here's another one that we saw last week. Wearable devices, if you guys
yeah,
remember, popped up pretty good today. They're down 8.2, hard to borrow. And again, they're trying to hold this gap that they had a couple of days back last week. We saw that increase in volume. And I remember, if I remember correctly, there was a bunch last week that were low flow stocks that just took off. What was the other one? A WD, CWD. Yeah, you guys remember
W,
this one?
yeah,
CWD, the
WD,
madness.
yeah,
Yeah, so there's a
yeah.
few of those last week that were on fire, but again, you can see some of them dropping down here, like the WLDS. So another one I won't be looking at again. Hard to borrow, low flow stock, just not going to be on my list this morning.
Yep, agreed. They took the opportunity on Friday with that jump to issue a secondary offering. So yeah, that's inevitably going to push their stock price down as they sort of try and scrape some money out of the market.
Yeah. All right, we'll continue here. Not much in the gap down. Next one is ASST, which we have looked at quite a bit here. Look at the range this morning. Up as high as 12.12, as low as 5.5, and now just hanging out here, kind of midpoint around $8 or so. So again, it's been up and down quite a bit here. The daily, as you can see, has been getting a lot of noise lately. Went from being quiet to getting a little bit more volume, jumping up all the way to 12 here again this morning. Peter, something happened at 7:15ish or so, right? That's where we started getting the volume and seeing the movement and this range. What's happening with them today?
Around that time, so if you remember last week, they announced that they were making a merger with a company called Strive. They said that they were going to be adding onto their board. There's just some backing from Vivek Ramaswamy because he was sort of behind the Strive thing as they sort of shift their business focus from what they used to be doing into, like so many companies, a treasury strategy for Bitcoin. This morning they basically announced that they're completely like they're basically shifting their entire board. Their board of directors, they're stacking it with a bunch of people that have a lot of experience in Bitcoin. So one, two, three, four, five new names that are coming on that are all big Bitcoin people onto their board. So that seems to be what the
Bitcoin
news
people,
is.
I like that.
Yeah,
Bitcoin
Bitcoin people.
people.
Bitcoin people. Yeah.
Yep. All right. If you like it, guys, put it on the list. Another one here is BMNR. Bite mine again, going sticking with the Bitcoin situation here. This one's also in play this morning. Up down 2.5, 3 million shares traded, but it has not traded well lately, right? If you look at the pre-market, it's nothing exciting here. The intraday action hasn't been all that exciting. This thing can move. I mean, just look at the high 56, the low 52 this morning, and we've seen it do even more, especially Friday. Friday had even a bigger range. So just be careful if you do decide to trade this one. It can move. It can move quite a bit here.
Yeah, I just have to, I think, correct you on that. I think it's Bitmine is the name of the company. BiteMine, I think that's an offshoot of OnlyFans, but anyways, that's totally different.
You know how we do here. We change the names to everything. So every ticker, we're gonna say the way. You know what? This reminds me of this. Where's Donkey Kong? Do you guys know what the Donkey Kong stock is? I know
Donkey
you know,
Kong,
Peter.
yeah.
Don't say it. Don't say. I want to see if the crowd knows what Donkey Kong is. What's the other one? What's the one with that? What happened to that? Yes, let's see. Andrew's on point. Andrew's in chat or Beyond the Meat. Guys, remember
Beyond the
that?
Meat, yeah.
Oh, good
We got
times. Good
we
times.
got Beyond the Meat, we got Pine Trust.
Yeah, yeah.
We've
We
had
go
all
what we
sorts
go
of.
with. Yeah,
Yeah, all right, fine. You do you then. Whatever you
yeah.
got. Anyways, yeah, it's been I find it interesting when companies like they just it feels like sometimes they issue press releases for the sake of press releases.
Yep.
For instance, the press release this morning that they issued on Bitmine was they've announced that their holdings have exceeded 2.1 million Ether tokens, which they said they were going to do. Like it's basically an update of, but they've really just said we're just doing the stuff we said we're going to do. And I like part of their press release is Bitmine is the 28th most traded stock in the U.S. Like, okay, that's nice. That means absolutely nothing. But they're just trying to find things to say for the excuse for a press release. So, anyways, no matter how you feel about it, it has made moves. What I found interesting is it is not one of those stocks that moves right at the open. The moves come randomly over the day, and I can't quite figure out how to track them because it doesn't seem to be related to any other market activity. If you look at Friday's action, it was sometime like mid-afternoon that after the stock not doing much, it decided just to take off in the afternoon. And I can't really trace it to a press release. It seems like it gets activity. There's either like a group of individuals or somebody who's heavy-handed who's pushing this thing around. So it's a little risky as a retailer to try and to trade this and be part of that because you just never know when it's going to move. I also noticed, by the way, this is traded on the American Stock Exchange, which is
Oh
is
yeah.
sometimes a little bit of a warning. We don't often trade things off of the American Stock Exchange. The fees are a little bit higher, and it comes with that. Often ETFs are traded there and other things, but that's
Oh,
where
the
it
fees
began
are
anyway.
higher. I did not know that. The fees are higher for stock in the.
Usually,
Okay. Oh, not know that. All right. Interesting. Yeah, ETFs like right the SPY I think falls under there. TSL, which Andrew I'm sure is going to be watching front and center today, is also actually TSLL is actually Nasdaq. So and okay, there's some that fall under Nasdaq. All right. How about Nvidia?
yeah,
NVDL. It's NV. I
yeah,
forgot what it is.
yeah. That's it. NVDL.
NVDL.
That's Nasdaq as
Oh,
well.
it's Nasdaq too. Okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, friends. QQQs are Nasdaq. Just curious how they fall here. All right. So only the SPY really. That's a big one. That's on that American Stock Exchange. All right. Last one here, Peter. Let's look at hymns. Hymns, which we had a lot of fun with going back, I want to say 2 months now. Yeah, right in this area, July, right? This was a lot of fun. Even before that, we had another nice run in May. If you guys remember that, that was cool. It was definitely in play. Today, they're looking to try to do something. They're down 2%, 913,000 shares traded. Good day on Friday. Just pulling back a little bit from Friday's highs. Volume is there. I don't see it exciting though. I don't see it being on my list this morning.
Yeah, I thought, oh, they're in trouble again because the news this morning is that the FDA, the FDA flags violations. But when I looked at it, really what's going on is the FDA, the head of the FDA, Commissioner Martin Makary, said that the Hims ads during the Super Bowl violated federal rules by promoting weight loss drugs without disclosing possible risks. What? Like Super Bowl? Wasn't that February? Like, couldn't you figure that out a little faster? Anyways, it seems like that's anyways. All right, so that's the news.
Yeah.
Anyways, the FDA chief flags it's ad violations. It's not drug issues. I thought it was going to be drug issues, right? Which would be hugely problematic. If it's just an ad violation, they'll pay a fine or something. Anyways, it's it doesn't feel like it's huge news.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it. Um, all right. Peter, that covers our gap up. Brought to you by gap down. Excuse me. Brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Anything else you like that might not be on this list?
Well, we mentioned AMD going up, Nvidia is going down, so a little bit of divergence here on the semiconductor side. One of our good friends, PLTR, is gapping down this morning, so it might be worth keeping an eye. PLTR has been a pretty good trader, I think, over the last little while. Worth watching, anyways, and it's gapping down this morning. And that was it. I noticed that a bunch of the crypto stuff is gapping down, but Hood has retained its position here. So Coin, Mara, MSTR gapping down as Bitcoin prices over the weekend didn't do all that well. Cryptocurrency sort of down over the weekend, and I don't know. I mean, it's not moving a lot, so I'm not sure what to say about crypto. Like we keep watching it. I know people are watching, hoping that this thing is going to take off, go to the moon, but it hasn't really done that. The last month has been very boring for crypto.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Um, All right, excellent. So far right now, friends, on my list, I have Tesla, a bunch of secondary stuff. I'll move Nvidia or AMD up this morning. We'll see which one looks the best. Oracle, we spoke about it. Did we decide to add that? I think we should watch this.
Yeah,
I
I said
think,
I'm
yeah,
probably gonna watch it just because I'm so surprised that it's still, we're still
yeah,
talking
man,
about it. So,
exactly. That's my
yeah,
point, right? So yeah.
yeah, it might be worth watching. I don't know.
Gonna add it to my list here, guys. Very active this morning. 2.8 million shares traded for this ticker, up 3.7. Again, was pretty high over the last couple of days. Yeah, definitely worth watching. Definitely in play. Um, all right, let's go to you guys. What else you guys like this morning? Let's go start in our chat here and see what's going on. RKLB at all-time highs. Let's take a look here by our friend Darren in the chat. RKLB, yeah, Big Day on Friday. Remember, we did have this on our list. So Big Day on Friday today, they're up 2.2, 773,000 shares traded. Um, yeah, it could be a good one. I'm not sure. Did trade well, very well actually on Friday. If you look Friday's action intraday was very nice, very clean, good volume. Maybe that can continue today as it's getting above that all-time high. So yeah, I like this one. I like this one, Peter.
They've been in play. Jim Cramer was talking about it on his show, said that Rocket Lab is a stock that's favored by young retail traders. So he didn't really back that up with any facts, but I don't know if it is or not. I mean, Rocket Lab's got a cool business. I mean, they launch rockets. They launched their 70th
Oh yeah.
Electron mission back at the end of August, and it, it's an interesting stock. Again,
Yeah.
trading it is tough. Look at the daily. You can see a lot of little candles, right? Like it's tough to find the day when it's moving. You have to do a
Yeah.
lot of watching and waiting before you find the right move. So I usually don't bother, to be honest. But
Yeah, maybe today's their day. Let's see. Rocket Lab. We'll watch that one, and then the other one I see being mentioned in both chats is SMCI. Another one that we had a lot of fun with a couple of months back, 2 or 3. Today they're up slightly, 776,000 shares traded. They just started to get going around 820 or so here. So I don't see anything great on it. There is some potential. Again, I'm probably just gonna watch either Nvidia and AMD when it comes to this semis thing. But yeah, there's some movement here. If you have the space to watch it, absolutely put it on your list. I'm gonna skip on it for now. Sticking with semis, I see people naming MU. MU all-time highs, really? Shoot, yeah. MU, wow, just
yeah.
making it, Peter. All-time highs here. Let's just check. I thought MU was like pretty high. No, no, that's it. So back on the last year, 2024, in June, right? June, they hit their high, and we're above that now. So the last MU has had a great September. I mean, they're really taking advantage here. Look at this move on the daily. Intraday, though, usually when they're doing well like this, there are other tickers that day trade better, and that's just been my experience on it. So usually when they're trading well, yeah, I'll watch it, but then I end up trading like AMD or Nvidia. That's been my experience, Peter. I'm not sure about you. What's your take?
Generally, I would agree with you that that's what's happened. That being said, last week, I think it was the day that you were trading with our friends at the P Capital Boot Camp.
Yeah.
I had my best trade of the day was on MU. So, and I even
Mm,
got into it really late and still had a good trade. So yeah, it was. It can move. You can't
yeah.
discount it completely because it does give opportunity occasionally. Now, and then you also mentioned SMCI. Well, my day Friday was all about SMCI because I thought the weird news about them announcing that they're actually making deliveries of stuff that they already committed to deliver was overstated, and I traded this thing short right off the open, and I literally held it right until the close. In fact, I my first trade on this, Carlos, was like a minute after the open, and I actually held it until after hours, some shares, just to see if I could get a move after the close. So that's unusual for me. I normally get out before the closing bell, but in this case, I kept a couple of shares for a few minutes and then decided I was done with it. So But anyways, yeah. So it was SMCI all day for me Friday. So I can't say that I don't ever trade it. I just don't often trade it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of secondaries here because I do like SMCI. I remember your trade on here was pretty nice. It is so semi-heavy on my list right now. So there it is. I just added a few: NVIDIA, AMD, MU, SMCI, all in the secondary. I'm gonna move one or two of those up, but I'll do that a little bit closer to the market open. So yeah, one of those is gonna come up here and be in play. CRWV being slammed on both chats, guys. What's going on? CRWV. Okay, I see what you're looking at. I see the excitement here. All right, up 7%, 3.6 million shares traded. What is the news? Seems it just broke out here at 855, got some attention, and now is being followed by the volume, Peter. So I'm not sure if you have the news yet. I'm going to add this, though. This looks very good this morning.
Blah 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 blah. Whoa. Uh, they have an agreement with Nvidia that looks like that Nvidia is obligated. I don't know if this doesn't sound like a new contract, but this is just a public release of terms of a contract they have with Nvidia, where Nvidia is obligated to purchase any unused data center capacity that CoreWeave may have through April 13th. 2032. So basically, it guarantees them revenue. So, if they sell it, great. If they don't, well, then they've got some guaranteed revenue coming in. So that's actually good news for them. And as soon as you mention Nvidia in your press release, you're getting some attention. I feel like that's just what's happened with CoreWeave here. So again, the
Yeah,
contract's not new, just the release of the terms are new.
got it. Love the
So
action right now. I'm going to add this to our list, friends, and we'll see where we go from here. All right, perfect. I'm loving the stuff people are sharing in the chat here this morning. Here's one from Francis. He shared this, and it's so true. Let me see if I can pull this up here in our chat, and I'll bring this up. But this is so true. Hold on, Peter. I'm going to show you this here. You might have seen it already, but I love this. When Tesla does well, I know
that's
I'm a good investor. When it goes down,
yeah,
it's all
that's
Elon's
that's
fault.
trading in a nutshell right there, right? Often it's like if
Yes,
it's
yes,
if
yes.
if it goes well, I'm brilliant. If it goes poorly, somebody did something to me or it's someone
Someone meant,
else's
yeah,
fault.
someone did
I gotta,
something.
so take that as funny. It's a joke, but also take it to heart because it's one of those things that we've got to be aware of as traders that, it's tempting to blame, think yourself brilliant when you're successful, blame someone else for your failures. The problem is it doesn't ever require you to face the reality of, your own actions. And
Yeah.
I guess that could be stated for a lot of areas of life. So Carlos, like we joke and you and I shudder every time we see MP, but I like to think at least we're acknowledging the fault was ours, right? Like the
Oh, a
stock
hundred
did nothing
percent.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, we got caught up in our own emotions and didn't trade smart on this thing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, you know, I think it's important again, laugh at those things, but use it as also as a reminder that we've got to the only way to be successful over the long term in trading is you've got to take responsibility for your own actions, good and bad, and
Yeah.
acknowledge
Absolutely.
there's luck or just chance, call it what you will, is going to affect equally on both cases. Carlos, I always like the when you read sort of a number of these even trading books and others, there's a well-known stat. They say when they interview successful people, like something like 90% of successful people attribute their success to their own hard work and dedication and everything. But if you talk to the same people about the things that went wrong in their life, they attribute those to, again, bad luck or outside conditions. So, even people that have seen a lot of success, they honestly believe, well, they don't believe luck played a role in their success, but they believe bad luck played a luck in the things that went wrong. I mean, clearly, we can sort of see independently there's got to be a flaw in that logic, and yet we do it to ourselves all the time. So,
And then as before we switch over to what's happening for
oh
today,
yeah,
here's Andrew's setup.
A-
How great is this, man? At
Andrew. I don't know if you've got
5,000
some of the other
meters.
pictures. Andrew gave a great video walkthrough. So this is Everest Base Camp, and they've given him
Yep.
like his own, yeah, like basically his own tent to run the there. Look at this. So this is where
Yeah.
Andrew is. This is like, I mean, look at all these, so many tents and everything. This is, I assume, that the lowest base camp, right? And it's pretty awesome. So he's got his own tent here that you saw the setup, and that's so when you see Andrew typing, or if you hear him in the chat room, I mean, that's where he is.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah. It's
cool. Very
awesome.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. I love this post here. This was, if you don't follow Andrew on Barry Treasures, do so. The post on this one here is awesome with the comments in there. It's just amazing. So, all right, and I want to share something else. If you guys indulge me for a second here, it's a minute video from one of our members, Jim, one of our good buddies on YouTube here, and this is just awesome. So just check this out.
Okay, a little vacation here, just an hour from the city, but it's another world out here. It's Blake Island. I think it's a state park, maybe a county park. Down there, let's see if I can zoom in a little. That is Southworth Ferry. That goes to Vashon Island and Seattle. Zoom back out here. Scrolling around to the west here, we've got the Olympic Mountains, sunset over the Olympics. And it doesn't do it justice on the video here. Oh, you can hear a little Tom Petty coming from the boat over here. New neighbors came in a couple hours ago. I don't know if you can hear that. Cranking some Petty. And then in here, we have got ready for the open tomorrow morning.
Awesome. That made my day when I saw that yesterday, man. Ready for the open, right on the boat, right on deck. That is just beautiful thing. So that's Jim over in our chat. Thanks for sharing that, man. It's just awesome to see you being able to trade. He goes out for, like he mentioned, he goes out for days. Goes out for days and stays on the boat. So that is pretty cool. Wow. All right, with that,
There you go. Trade from anywhere, literally.
Yeah,
Whether you're at
literally.
the top of,
we got Andrew at 16,000 feet. We got Jim here in the water.
Camp and, yeah,
it's just amazing, man. Thank you, guys. Share stuff like this. If you have something like this, send it to me. Carlos at BearButchers.com. We'd love to see it, and yeah, we'd love to see that. All right, let's head over to friends BearButchers.com. You can always head on there and see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. Today is Monday. So as I mentioned before, onboarding class. Peter's gonna let you know all about it.
Yeah, so Monday activities. We've got, as Carlos has already mentioned, the onboarding class, which happens at 8 o'clock tonight. If you're a new member or, an experienced member and just want to get a refresher of what you can get out of the community, or you want to contribute, maybe you want to help the new people along, join in there. Give it a help there. Carlos is doing single parent duty here, so he's not going to be leading that, but he's going to do his best to attend. Maybe you can join in and help answer questions from new members. That would be awesome. But that's at 8 o'clock. That's in the onboarding room for all classes of membership. Hopefully you can join and get some value from that. Also on Mondays we have our book map order. Well, we're doing order map now. Are we already? Cool. Anyways, Nathan's.
Awesome.
Nathan's going to be having a training session at noon. That's in the webinar room for our elite members, where he's talking about visualizing the order map. So normally he talks book map. He's going to talk about, anyways, bottom line, how can you visualize volumes in the market? Understand where, some of the heavy hitters, those are the deep pockets, put their orders and how they use that to try and move market sentiment. He's going to talk about that and how you can use that as a predictor in your trading. That's today at noon in the webinar room for all of our elite members. As always, if you go to the Bearable Traders website, scroll down, you'll see the different membership options. You can take advantage of that anytime at your convenience. And everything from the intro to the elite annual are right there for you to join into that chat room in there, and you can join a community of people who are like-minded and want to actively trade. Whether you're on a boat, whether you're on a mountain, whether you're sitting in your house, you can trade from anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. If people are asking how is Andrew getting connection, Starlink is the way he's connecting, so this just works very well too. All right, let's jump in, friend. Let's do a test. Let's do some levels here, and then we'll hop over to what our team is watching. Then we'll hand it off to Brian in the live traders this morning. 430.36 is the high of the pre-market on Tesla. I mean, just look at this beautiful pop here on the daily. The last 3 days just really crushing it. So we'll go to the left here and we'll see some of the levels here on the daily. We got a nice level at 417. We'll mark that down, and we also have 438 towards the top. So we'll leave those two for now, and we'll definitely see how that goes. All right, next is going to be Oracle, which has been just awesome the last couple of days. Again, this pre-market activity wants to keep going. New pre-market high being set here. I'm going to remove some of the older levels I have. New pre-market high set right around 307.10 for the most part right now. And on the daily, you can see here we're surrounded by some of the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. So I don't think you really need to add much. And we are all-time highs as well. So again, nothing else to see at the moment. No other levels to look at as far as the daily goes. So pretty easy there. Rocket Lab is another one that's also, man, so much stuff on all-time highs. I feel like everything, MU, Rocket Lab, Oracle, I mean, you name it. It's all SPY, overall markets, all-time highs. I mean, just awesome. So 55 actually for Rocket Lab is your all-time highs there. Probably also high of the pre-market. The low of the pre-market, 52.92. We'll slam those two there, and I think you're set. Towards the bottom, in case we do get a significant drop, 51.68 does the job for us there. CRWV is another one that's making some noise today. Again, we'll see. I'm not completely sold on this one yet as far as the primary. We'll see how it goes. 124.88 is the high of the pre-market. Towards the bottom, so many levels. Highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing a great job. You do not need to add anything else to make it more complicated than what it is. Previous day close, pretty close to the low of the pre-market as well. So that's set there for you. Now towards the top, I do want to add some major levels. 130.27 is a good one. And also right up here, 135.86. With those two, there's nothing else for you to do. And that's my list. And I still got AMD, NVIDIA, and MU, SMCI. I'm going to decide a little bit later which one is I'm going to move up, and we'll do levels for those. Peter, what's the team watching?
All right. Our team is watching all sorts of things that we've been talking about here this morning. I see a lot of common themes. We'll start with Thor, who's got AMD on his list and, of course, his future contracts. Jared's going to be watching Tesla and Oracle. I think, in fact, he's already trading Tesla, so he's getting active already. Mike is going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, and the scanners. Brendan has got Tesla, AMD, NVIDIA, Oracle, and Apple. Gary is going to be watching Tesla, Oracle, and Affirm. Andrew is got Tesla, Oracle, Apple, and NVIDIA on his list, and of course some of the derivatives, right? You don't have to trade the stock directly. You can trade an ETF if you want to leverage, but whatever you do, just trade safe, trade smart. Eamon is watching OKLO and BE for some potential longs. Megan's got Rocket Lab, CoreWeave, and Robinhood. Brian's got Tesla, NVIDIA, CoreWeave, and of course the market indices. I'm going to be watching Tesla, NVIDIA, PLTR, Oracle, Joby, and CoreWeave. And that's about it. Brian said he's going to add OKLO to his list. And guys, whatever you are watching, trade smart this morning. You can see Carlos's list at the bottom of the screen. Big list today. We got a lot of stuff that's sort of iffy, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you pick, just make sure that it meets your criteria and don't force anything, right? Don't be afraid to, sometimes you got to shift horses, but again, there is always a fine line between, we're now going to mix metaphors between shifting horses and chasing butterflies, right? Like you can go crazy sometimes. If you're just jumping between things all morning, you're probably going to miss everything. So you're better off to pick a couple of targets, and if they work out, they do. If they don't, then you don't have any trades. It's the way it goes.
That's it.
My opinion. You could do.
Quality over quantity. So friends over in chat, trade safe with our live traders, and we're going to continue here on YouTube. Have a great one.
Trade smart.
All right, friends, let's focus in here. We're going to switch everything up to trade live on YouTube, and we'll get this party going here. So Peter's in there. We'll bring it right here. We'll get our 1 and our 5 minutes. So that's what we look at when we trade in the morning. I'm looking at my 1 minute, looking at the 5 minute, and we'll see what opportunities we get. So less than 4 minutes. Brian is in chat. Here we go. And Gary L is joining Brian this morning in our chat. So if you want to see that, guys, Peter did show you how you can join and be a part of the live trades that happen in chat room.
I gotta watch my good friend Joby. I gotta put Oracle. Oh, and
Uh,
open.
really good
I
soil. I
got.
appreciate that, man. So really good soil is saying there's a lot of traders on there's a lot of channels on YouTube come to Bear with Trades because Carlos and Steve, I think you meant Peter, are true talents. I appreciate that, man. Entertaining and informative. Yes, some days one side more than the other, but that's the goal. to keep you
That is the
entertained
goal.
and be informative. Some days
Are you not entertained?
that balance is out of place, but that's what it is.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Wow. Oracle is just moving up pre-market, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
Oracle is good today. Oracle is good today. I'm getting my list together here.
Well,
Tesla.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
interested to see where Tesla's going to go. It's I don't know. It'd be tempting to short Tesla because of, it's gone up
mm,
7%. This is a $28 move. However, we know that there's
mm-hmm.
support, right? With Elon buying a lot of shares and that news sort of breaking outside of market hours over the weekend, I'd
Yep.
be cautious about betting against Tesla when the opening bell rings. I think this might be
Yeah.
it might have farther to go because there's no need for Elon to put even more money behind the stock. The fact that he's chosen to do that is he's clearly trying to make a statement, but it's a strong statement, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is, right? So he's
yeah,
clearly doing that.
he's done
So
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, I don't mind this pullback that's happening right now. It might give us an opportunity for a higher move. But again, I'm going to be
Yeah.
cautious with it. We'll see what happens at the open, see where the opportunity lies, but
Andrew's
maybe
telling
we
you,
can.
Peter, didn't I tell you Tesla 400 easy? We actually on Friday we were talking about
You
400. We
know,
didn't make it on Friday, but we
we
got pretty close.
yeah. Yeah,
You know,
everybody was saying Tesla to 400 on Friday. I thought that that was overstated, I'll admit.
I was
And
on
I
board.
guess I was right. I guess technically I was right. It didn't hit 400 on, within the trading day on Friday, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
here we are, right? Well over it.
Yeah,
So take it for what you will. Like, yeah, the enthusiasm was there. So
yeah.
it's
Wow, Tesla at the open, man. I think this thing is gonna be so wild. Just
yeah.
be careful, friends.
It's
Risk
yeah,
management
it could
is
be.
top priority, so just be careful on this one. But yeah, front and center today. Good morning, team man. Good to see you, Medi. Good morning. Welcome. Open, yes. Andrew mentioned. Yeah, we talked about open. 15 seconds left here. Open, yes. Also has great volume.
Yeah.
Man, so many. I just can't watch another one. But there's so many great stocks.
Here we go,
Um,
guys. Open is about to happen. Here's the bell. What's going on? My why all my charts have frozen.
oh
What's
no way.
happened?
Tesla's going for me. I got movement.
My like everything froze here. What the heck is
Uh,
going on?
that sounds like individual. That's
Uh-oh.
like a that's like a you problem, Peter. What's going on with your internet? Well,
It,
your internet's good because we're
it,
on.
no,
So
no. Well, yeah, because we're connected and my level two is moving. Just my charts all stopped. So it's a
hmm.
problem with my quote server,
Oh
clearly.
wow, a lot of people getting the saying their stuff is frozen too. A lot of me too's in
Yeah.
chat. I'm rocking here,
Okay.
man. Things is moving.
Okay. So you're connected to the
Yeah,
right
probably
order server,
network.
clearly.
Yeah, change network. Yeah, change network.
Yep.
I mean, I'm basically
Wow.
next to Nasdaq, so server, so that helps, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God. I gotta have to change. I just tried
Fossil
reloading the
fuel.
platform and that's
Yeah,
that's not it. Clearly one of their servers went down right at the open. That is
yeah.
not good.
Some people
Here
are
we
good,
go.
some people are not. Oh man,
Yeah.
Tesla, 1 minute ORB. If we get the engulfing here, that could be nice. Let's see if it happens. I usually like to wait
Which
three
way are we
minutes,
going
but
on?
this could be interesting here.
Which way are we going on Tesla? Are we going up or down?
I don't
Like,
know. I want that 1 minute engulfing closing above the VWAP. I would definitely take that. But let's see. Here it is. Uh, Let's see. So I'm just watching here. Yeah, I'm gonna go long here, guys. Tesla 1 minute ORB. Let's see if we can get the pop. And here we go. Okay. See, 425 would be amazing. I'm struggling. Let's go, Elon. Elon, yes. All right, 425. Took a partial there. Looks like it wants to go, but you gotta be very, very careful here. I don't want this going lower. I'm gonna get out. So I got out right before break even. Took some off. I don't like the fact that they didn't give me a good cushion right away. So let's see. See if we see some more strength, I'll get back in. But took a nice partial, 20% off. I wish I would, obviously now after the fact, would have taken off more, but 20% off on that one. And that could have been the right call. So yeah, I think it is going to be the right call.
I went, oh no, what happened? Oh no, the spread is so big on this. What happened? I went short on Tesla, Carlos, just as you were getting out of it, and it came back, and I thought I didn't realize I was so aggressive at moving my stop to break even because it stopped me out. I got stopped out here.
I got out quickly, man. I want to see that move happen right away, but it's a $2 partial, so you just gotta take it.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is
it's
like
wild. It's wild right now. Yeah, it can go either way.
It's interesting. Yeah. Look at your trade and look at. So I got in. Yeah, I got in right as you got out.
Oh, so we saw that we read the same thing. We read the same thing there, right? So
yeah. Put my screen up here for you.
Oh, it's gonna go. Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna go. Hold on. Let's see here. Patience. I'm gonna go back in. Let's see. I'm gonna go back in on Tesla.
Don't be too aggressive.
I know I'm being very aggressive on this thing. Still very iffy. Still, I'm in for this pop here. Come on. Let's go, baby. Let's get 426. You could do it.
It's really struggling at
this
level.
John? Is John going long? We need John. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, see?
Like that. Okay, come on. Gotta step off the VWAP. Fingers on the hotkeys here. Where's the Elon fans? What's going on, guys? Let's get up there. Let's go, Tesla. You can do it. Andrew's long open.
Yeah, open had a big pop. I'm wondering if it's Andrew that pushed it higher.
Andrew, I need you to go long Tesla. Help me out.
Yeah,
I'm going long open.
Even Andrew's not trading enough volume to alone move Tesla. So
yeah, but it's it's the thought that I got somebody else
senior. Well, there you go.
In a long.
It's the Andrew effect. It's the Andrew effect, right?
Just get in there and then go take a shower or something, and then we could do the shower strategy. That works really well.
I'd be really nervous about Tesla right here, Carlos. It's taking
I
a while.
am. The fact that we're not making a new high here is concerning. Here's a new candle.
It's still making higher lows on each one of these candles, though. So
we're stepping up. Here's a key candle. If this doesn't break, I'm gonna
this thing could go strong either way, though.
Yeah.
It's who knows.
I'm ready for an exit here if we don't get this move. Yeah, struggling. Yeah, here's a new low. Yeah, gonna get out of it. I just don't think it's gonna do it right now. But if I feel like if I don't be this aggressive when it does end up making the move, I'm gonna miss it. Oh, good call jumping out of that.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Peter, thinking short. It's gonna be a
I
break
have
one way or the
not.
other. Open. A beautiful break here, guys. Nice. And Andrew's long on this. Plus, I know some other people. Joey, you're long too. Good stuff. Very nice. Very nice. All right, Tesla. Tesla's showing weakness. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. So we just basically gave the profits back. So not bad, but not great. Um. Huh. See where it goes. I don't believe the short on Tesla. I really don't. And then maybe that's a bias, but I don't buy into the short. So we'll have to wait, give it a few more to see if there's any strong opportunities on this one. But I'm just not buying into the short thing here,
You're not
Peter.
buying it, eh?
Not buying into it right now. No, 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 no.
Uh, I
Um,
should have. Maybe I should have taken it short when I saw the drop happen. I think it can go down. I mean,
RKLE.
again, it doesn't have to go down
Yep.
for a long period of time. I just think over the short term, it'll
Agreed.
push.
Agreed. Yep. Yep.
We're at low of day now.
Just looking at some of our semis here, NVIDIA, AMD, again, not doing all that much. MU was a nice 5-minute ORB break up here above the
Oh,
VWAP, so that was nice.
there's Tesla.
SMCI coming up to the VWAP. I'll be looking out for that. And what you guys are mentioning, POTR. Let's take a look, POTR. Not the cleanest 5-minute ORB breakdown, but it's showing some weakness here. Let's see if what that does. Tesla, oh, look at that drop. And this is why, friends, just get out, right? Stop out of break even. And when you don't see it, my stop was at 422, right? Gives enough room. But when you see the action not doing what you want and the price action is telling you otherwise, just get out. It comes back up, we can get back in. I can't say that enough because, again, that has really, really changed the way I trade. So important to, you can always get back in. So don't force it. Oracle trying to push here. Maybe an engulfing 5-minute on Oracle. Does it have more juice to go up? Mike is looking at Google today. Oh,
Yeah, Google's been
move. Man.
all green candles on Google, even on a 1-minute, Carlos. All green.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, see the 1 minute here too. No pullbacks whatsoever. Mike, are you in this? Well then, yeah, good stuff, man. Yeah, I was up decent on Tesla, but then on this small loss here, I gave most of it back. So, but that's okay. I'm willing to take that risk for a stock that can shoot up so aggressive like that, right?
Speaking of shooting up aggressively, we got NVIDIA moving higher.
Yeah, PLTR above the VWAP. I know you guys are looking at that banner, calling that out as well. Let's see if we. I love a bigger dip coming
Apple.
to the VWAP, so not as
heck?
interesting here. Not ideal, but let's see. Let's see if we get a pullback. Oh, this thing is going.
What the heck happened to you, Apple?
What's going on here?
I don't know.
How's the overall market? What are we doing? Oh, it's up and up and up. All-time highs here, 660, right? That's going above, yeah. What a time to be trading. All right. So still got my eyes on Tesla, friends. Again, I'm strong on the long here side of things. So we just gotta wait for an actual setup. Strong on the long, baby. Gotta wait for an actual setup though that we can take advantage of here. But right now, just sit and wait. How's open doing? I know a lot of guys were in open. How is that open?
It had that initial move, and now it's just sort of moved back to VWAP. It's the whole move. You got to appreciate it's less than $1, so it's not. I mean, I guess for a $10 stock,
yeah,
it's
$9
10%,
stock. Yes,
yeah.
it's a significant. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Tesla, PLTR. I didn't even have PLTR on my list. There's so much to watch today, guys. Wow. Oh, did I just miss my entry on PLTR? Hold on a second. What we got here. So here's the breakout pullback. This is our VWAP breakout. Not the best setup. Oh, no, 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 no. Nope. I wasn't looking at it. So much to watch. I wasn't looking at it. And I didn't have it on my watch list, but this is, oh no. This is going to go nicely here. This would have been a partial already, 170.20. So I missed the entry on, and you guys called it out. I missed the entry here. This is so our move, right? Breakout, pullback on the VWAP here. Confirmation candle. You would at least had a partial here already. Hopefully you guys took that. Hopefully you guys took that.
Well, I don't have another trade here yet.
Oh wow, Tesla showing a lot of weakness. Look at this go now. We're gonna retest that 417 level. That is, where do we get that from? We got pre-market low, I believe. Actually no, it's a daily level. Oh, it's a daily level going back to like February is what I have here. This 417. And even in the pre-market, you see you had some support there as well before it did the next run, breaking the pre-market high this morning. So a lot has been happening around here. Let's see what it does. Already we saw a little bit of a bounce, but still on a nice downtrend here for Tesla. Oh, Peter, you're gonna bite yourself with this short, huh?
No. I know. I should have shorted it, but I wasn't quick enough to jump in when you were still long on it, and anyways, doesn't matter. It's I chose not to go in.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, close, losing some ground. Yeah, it's lost this 85.27 level. I'm just gonna mark it. Not sure what that is, but try to stay above that. Couldn't. Nice drop once it lost that, and then it's continuing lower. Previous day close is coming up at 82.71. What's the spread on this thing? The volume seems to be a little bit wishy-washy. The way it's traded.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy. Be careful. It's like it's not moving as fluid as other tickers we're used to, but it is definitely breaking down pretty nice here. Oracle. All right, Tesla still with the weakness. CRWV is another one we had on deck as well. POTR is going to go and make our move, friends. I mean, please tell me some of you guys took this. You called it. A lot of you guys mentioned it, right? And what a great VWAP breakout setup here. So next target is high of the day, 171. Actually, no, 170.43. 171 was pre-market. That's pre-market high. So Mike, you tried Tesla with me. Yeah. Took a few partials on the dollar move. Yeah, yes, it's a good pop, man. It was gonna go so ready to go. But we'll see open bouncing from the Vera. So if you got a good entry below 982, you should hopefully still be in this. And looks like it wants to retest the highs.
Oh, Tesla. Carlos, I should have stuck with my short theory.
Should have stuck with your short theory. You stopped out, you could have got right back in once it lost that VWAP.
I could have, yeah.
Yeah.
And that would have been the smart move, actually, but.
PLTR is doing some stuff, friends. So here it is. Once the high of the day at 170.40. AMD false speed graph breakdown and just hanging out here. This is a tough area to trade it in, long or short. I find this area very difficult because you have your VWAP up here, and then you have your previous day close here. So it's like this middle dead zone. Just got to be careful. Got to really have a strategy that works well for that. So
yeah, the no man's land, I call it. Whenever you get
No
stuck
man's
between previous
land.
day close and VWAP, the DMZ.
Yep.
Anyways,
All right. What else, friends? What else we have? Oh, yes. Baba. How did our Chinese tickers do? Baba, nice 1 minute engulfing towards the bottom. Pretty nice.
wow. Micron
Maybe-
is at all-time highs and moving
and
higher.
you breaking out lovely here. So many things
Yeah.
going on today. Look at it go. Just talking about it. It's just here's pushing high once 160. SMCI. Not much going on there. Open, trying to get going. Did Apple continue to sell? Oh yeah, Apple continued to. I didn't even have space for Apple. How many tickets we had today? But you did mention it. I know you had it on watch. And yeah, seeing
I
some
mentioned
weakness
it.
here. Open. So much, guys. So much. Oracle. All right, so just waiting to see what opportunities we can get. I'm looking for any type of VWAP. Hopefully, Tesla comes back up through to 421, shows some strength. That could be nice. Right now, it's just a complete short at the moment. It's just a lot of weakness. No sign of it turning around just yet. It's got some good volume to it, and then PLTR is gone here, breaking high of the day. Damn, that is so nice. Such a nice continuation on it. All right, nice. Mr. David, just reading some comments here. AMD. Yep. And in chat, what do we got going on in chat? I see Gary's looking at a firm. One of our great traders. He traded that one a couple of times there. Very nice. Peter, anything you like out there? Anything you got your eye on for a possible
Not really.
move?
I am watching Micron. You know, I do like to short a strong stock, so I see it just spiked over 160. I don't. The volume seems pretty low for a stock that's at all-time highs. The volume's a little surprising to me. Like I would have expected it to be a little
You
more
mean
vigorous.
like the 4.3 million or just like
Well, just since the open, look how we had the big volume candle at the open. Look how
Yeah.
flat the volume's been ever since. Like it just feels like
Yeah.
the volume fell off pretty quickly, and it hasn't regained its momentum, which seems odd to me.
Alex, long PLTR and short Apple. You're in a good spot, my friend. What's going on, INTC? INTC up 3% today. Yeah, nice breakout. I find this one hard to trade, but yeah, dude is trading very well today. Jillian, you are in PLTR. Man, yeah, I'm gonna regret not. And I was watching, then I switched and started looking at something else. And by the time it came back, it was too late. Confirmation candle had already formed. Entry was already gone, and did not look back.
Still in PLTR, yeah. Look at PLTR. It was off to the races.
Nice, man. So nice.
My
Not even having it on the
MU
watch
looks
list
like it
today.
wants to drop. There it goes. There it goes.
MU, you looking at? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go? Did you go?
No, I did not.
Hmm.
Again, it still didn't really like the volume, so but it would have
Yeah.
worked. I should know. Like Micron often trades like that, though.
Yeah.
It's not as vigorous of a trader as like we're used to. Well, I'm used to, anyways, on a AMD or a Tesla, Nvidia.
Looking at Tesla coming up to the VWAP here after a very nice drop down to 414. Yeah, the wicks on Tesla are brutal. So you gotta give this like, a $2, $2.50 stop on Tesla is not it's not far fetched, right? You have to do that, right? And just manage your shares accordingly, right? Take less shares. That's what I do. You don't need to take a whole boatload because this thing you can get $5 out of Tesla when it's trading the way it is. Like if you look at the daily, this thing is trading insane. Just now, we're $6, close to $6 above the low. So AMD's at
Tesla's back
VWAP
at
too.
420. Its favorite number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, AMD's volume seems so low. See, but I don't like how this is setting up here. I mean, it can still work, but I love when they kind of go deeper like this and do the breakout, right? So it can still work, but it's for me, it's not the most ideal, right? So Tesla, on the other hand, we got the momentum going now. Let's see if that's gonna stick. And if I see a VWAP situation here, then yes, we will go long on that. Again, keep your stops accordingly. Give yourself room. You can't have a 50-cent stop on Tesla. You're gonna get stopped out almost every single time because it needs that room to pull back. Banner, you're wondering if PLTR is gonna make it to 173.10. It's no stranger to running. Um, but you got 173. That's pretty far out. You got the 171 there, which is your previous day close. So can it do it? Yes. Have we seen this done there before? Yeah, but it's gonna need a lot of help to do that, to get that move. It's a big move, especially with the previous day close up there, right? So
I'm listening to the chat room, and it's
yeah,
funny. Gary's there trading live with Brian, and Gary's in this. He's trading a firm, and
yeah.
he's like he keeps muttering to himself, "Why am I trading this stupid stock?"
Because the
It's like,
volume is gone. It's dead. The volume
well,
is
it's
dead.
right,
Yeah, it happens.
and we all have these days where we get stubborn on a stock, right? Because it's what you were watching, and I get
Yeah,
it, but
yeah.
it's just unfortunately you picked, like, it feels like everything else is moving except for the stock that you're trading, and
Yes.
you can have days like that.
Been there, done
So,
that many, many times.
yep, I think we all have. All right, well, I am still watching things. I missed the move on MU. I missed the move on Tesla, which admittedly annoyed me. Joby is up at the high of day right now. Uh, it's somewhat interesting. PLTR. Let's see if it can go back over 171. It was there very briefly. And Tesla seems to be stuck here at 419, 420. And it looks weak. Looks like it wants to drop again, but you never know with Tesla.
All right. Oh, Tesla's showing some weakness here.
There it is. Yeah. It looked like it wanted to drop, but I don't trust it necessarily to take the trade.
LTR, LTR. We had CoreWeave as well. We have Rocket Lab. Oracle not doing a whole lot right now. Tesla's trading great. Like if you took a reversal here, I mean it's trading really, really nice. Like this, see the way the candles are forming. I know it might be tough to hold through some of these moves because of the way it trades, but it is trading clean. So nice nice drop here below the VWAP. That was awesome. So you guys looking at coin, Mike? What you got going on here? Coin. Yeah, we were talking about coin, Mara, and these tickers. Looks like coin is the one that's winning the most today. Amazon above the VWAP here. Done that a couple of times, right? Well, just once here. Try go, couldn't make it. Trying again here. You might not, since it's so close, you might not get the breakout pullback and confirmation. You might not get that on it. It might just go. So we'll have to see. PLTR seeing some pressure. Our good buddy Baba back up the VWAP. Do we trust Baba to actually be a good VWAP breakout? Rob, that's the thing. Do we trust it? Was that 2 weeks ago? I think I traded Baba, and it took. It might have been this one. I took all day. I don't remember which ticker it was, but it took all day to actually hit like the first parser or second parser. It took a while. Friends, if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. So make sure to do that, and yeah, help the channel growth, sitting at 251. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. Really, really appreciate it. 400 is our goal. That's our number. When we get there, we're very nice and happy. So here's Baba trying to break the VWAP. Volume is again. You know what happens? Tesla, Nvidia, AMD. These stocks they mess you up, right? Because you look at them and you see the way they're volume, the way they're trading. Then you look at Baba, which could be perfectly fine, and you're like, this volume is not doing anything. Like a firm, like Gary referred to it, right? It's like what are you trading this for?
Yeah,
it's not getting volume, right? So it kind of.
Why am I doing this? What am I doing?
Yeah. Rick says the thing with the thumb. I did it. Awesome. I like that. I like that. Thank you, sir.
The thing with the thumb. That's it. That's all we ask. Yeah. Do the thing with the thumb.
Thing with the thumb. All right, here's Baba. Rob could not agree with that statement anymore. I don't trust any stocks. 100%. 100%. Correct. That's failing. So Bob is actually using the VWAP as rejection here, not really breaking through it. So Tesla pull back. So at this point, I'm just looking for any. Oh, Oracle. Okay, I like this drop. Can the fun be over on Oracle? All right, here's the pullback. What's the spread? Spread's about 30 cents, 20. Oh, okay. I might like Oracle for sure here, Peter.
You think?
If we
Yeah,
can lose
it's
if we can lose the VWAP again, I might like it for sure. I mean, not definitely not now. We need other things to take place. This could be a bounce off the VWAP, but
yeah, that move down and move back up is
no,
a
that
little
messed up the move.
suspect.
Yeah, messed up the
Yeah.
move here. How does the spread affect my decision? Sizing. You can take less size when the spread is too bad. I mean, for a
Yeah.
$300 stock, 20 cents is not bad, but it's not ideal. But you're gonna take
Right.
less shares on Oracle anyways, because Oracles can move $2 or $3, fairly quickly and easily. So you're still gonna take less shares. But if the spread is,
Yeah.
the spread, let's say, is 80 cents on this stock. Let's say it was 80 cents, right? Which in this one could easily jump to that. You want to be aware of that, so then you size down. If you still want to take the trade, if you still believe that the pattern, like if we lose this VWAP again, maybe you still believe the pattern is in your favor, or you strongly feel it's going to work, then yeah, take less shares. Just kind of protect yourself from slippage too, right? Because that's 80 cents, 50 cents you have to account for. That's the minute you get in, that's you're going to be down that already. This is not looking good for the setup I like here at all. So if anything, I see this more of a long right now. No. I don't see it more of a long. I see it as not a short. I don't think it's a long, but I don't see it as a good view at breakdown on Oracle just yet. Tesla never came back, huh? Tesla doesn't want to come back to the VWAP and give us our money back?
Not yet. No.
Yeah. Oracle Rocket Lab coming to the VWAP as well. So again, things coming back towards the VWAP here. CoreWeave. Not sure what it's doing now. PLTR. Oh, PLTR. The drop, pullback. PLTR. I just got to keep watching PLTR. I just can't take my eyes off of it. Yeah, it's just, why do I do that? Low of the day down at 168. I'm gonna go short PLTR, guys, here. I'm gonna go short PLTR. Let's see if we have a drop towards the low of the day here. Low of the day 168, stop 169.90-ish. Let's see if the weakness continues here on PLTR. So show PLTR. Better entry would have been in this candle here. This is our move. Here's the VWAP breakdown, the pullback. Here's the confirmation candle. Let's see if we get the drop on PLTR. Okay, Gary's getting his move on a firm. It's going. Is he still in it, Peter? Are you listening into the chat? I'm seeing the chat,
yeah.
but I'm not. Yeah, it's getting his. Oh yeah, I see. It's just stuck though. He's not getting the breakout. He needs the breakout.
No, he needs the breakout because his entry was not where he wanted it to be. So
got it.
he's keeping an eye on PLTR here too. PLTR is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's
I don't know
see.
where anything's going now. We seem to have slowed down here pretty quickly. Here we are at.
I just hope we're not getting
10.
into this, like you said, Peter. Let's wait till Wednesday to see what's going to happen. Like, give us 2 good trading days, and then trade back Wednesday morning when we're closer to the. It's Wednesday, right? The decision, right? It's too early to start.
Wednesday, yeah.
Going sideways. We have a livelihood to survive here. Us day traders. Don't mess with that. All right, short PLTR. Let's see if we can get another leg down. If you look at the 5 minutes, you got this big leg down right below the VWAP. That's very close. I like the 1 minute candles here for our setup. So that's good. That's selling pressure. Let's see. Let's see. Uh, Shorting S3. You guys are bold. Benjamin, I agree. This is a bold play. This is a bold play. Now, if you lose S3, wouldn't that be a play to S4, right? No? I mean, I don't have the camera pivot points, but wouldn't that be? Ain't that one of the plays, right? If you lose
I
support,
think.
and then, so we'll see. It all depends, right? Since stock's so cheap, I might gamble. BIAF. No, man, don't gamble. don't. Oh no, no, don't do that. Or,
Oh,
I
look at
mean,
that
do what
pop
you
on
want,
Tesla.
but just be careful. Just be careful, man. These 30-cent stocks are not ideal. For us, they're not ideal. So just be careful. They attract new traders quite a bit here. Just be careful. All right, LTR pulling back a bit. Tesla. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking of going short Tesla. I'm glad I didn't because it's
Glad you did not, my friend.
yeah.
There's just too much. It's too much today. Too many things to look at. Here's Tesla at the VR breakout. And I've been long biased on this thing for a very long time. So I'm just salivating right now if I'm gonna take this long here. Feels like I traded a lot, but it really hasn't. But it feels like I've been trading a lot today. So we're short PLTR. PLTR stop is 170, 169, 90, just below 170. It's pulling back against us here, but I'm looking at Tesla. Not ideally the pullback we got. Let's see, Tesla, good push above the VWAP. Oh no, I might have taken too long to decide here. Let's see. Hopefully, it gives us back another pullback. Another pullback. I want like 421.50. Get down there. Hold the VWAP. I know I'm asking for too much. I know, guys, but this we need this.
I'm asking for too much.
I'm asking for too much. I understand. Entry is everything, though. If your entry's not everything, but it's a big part of the strategy is getting a good entry.
It is.
You haven't taken one trade today, huh?
I did. I took that short on Tesla real early.
Okay.
Remember,
Oh
like
yes.
right after your
Yes.
trade, as you were getting out, I got in. It wasn't very
Yeah.
long. I mean, the whole trade lasted. It's one of my typical. The thing lasted. Oh my God, 14 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right. Here's my chance. All right. Tesla. Yeah, I do like this. I do. Wow. What a. Okay. This is what it is. All right. So I'm long Tesla. I was gonna get a better feel, but it is what it is. Long Tesla, and then I'm short PLTR. So let's see if Tesla can get up here. It's a little bit easier now, Tesla. Earlier, the volume, the wicks all over the place. A little bit easier to hold now because you're not gonna get this crazy volatility. Still great volume, but it's not this market open volume, right? This is just wild. People deciding, hey, what's next? We're going up, we're going down. Eventually down one. But I'm bullish on this stock, man. Andrews too. Andrews is long. Andrews is long 422, which makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So let's see. Hopefully we get high of the day. Would be awesome here. So let's see. And I'm still short PLTR. So I'm short PLTR. Nice bounce off the VWAP. I'm looking for at least 168.51 on this. So I'm just put a thing there. Since I'm looking at so many things here. And then the low of the day right now, 168. So those would be awesome if we can get those two here. So let's see. Oh, no, POTR, don't do that. Go the other way. Go the other way. Tesla 421, just sitting at that 422. I'm concerned more with Hood not making the move than actually Tesla. POTR, excuse me, POTR. I think Tesla's going to do it. POTR, on the other hand, I'm not too fond of this one. But that happens too. Like, you know, we've been in this stock already since 10:04, right? So we're going on almost 10 minutes. Start getting a little impatient. Like, what are we doing here, right? Yeah. So the longer we wait here, then this becomes like really strong support because we're slamming into it. Like, we're slamming into this area. If this starts holding, there's no reason for us to be in here, even if we just get out for a small loss. I'm not going to wait for my stop, right? People say, why don't you wait for your stop? I mean, it's not giving me a reason to wait for my stop right now. It's really not. Like right now, this is turning into a bullish type signal for me with this price action. We need this to go. So we had to drop already. We retest the VWAP. Great. Come back down here. Here's your chance to continue to go down. If you don't do that, then it's not a good look for us. Jose, you're long POTR. How do we block you? Jose's long POTR against me at 169. Let's block Jose from chat, please. Jose Pablo Rodriguez.
How do we block you?
No, man, it's all good. Listen, we can. You're in at 169. You're beating me right now. You're in at 169. What's your entry? No, you're not in at 1. You're playing off 169, right? Because if you're in at 169, man, you got in like perfect. You had done a limit order for that. So, all right, Tesla pulling back here a little bit, guys. And POTR, it's not giving me the warm and fuzzy. Yeah, see, that's my concern, that this is going to become support here on POTR. Might just jump out of this one, just focus on Tesla. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for my stop on POTR. Or is VWAP going to continue as resistance? decisions, Peter.
I know.
Or you know, and this is
funny.
I know
it's funny to listen to you debate this out loud.
This is what happens in a trader's mind. Like, this is what goes on.
I was gonna say,
you know, this
is what goes through your head, right?
This is not script. I don't got a script to read here. I'm sorry. You know, I'm just just this is what happens. So we're getting the rejection, which is good. But this 169.20 cannot act as support again. Wait 15 minutes. I'm almost at 15 minutes, I think.
And Tesla's just sitting above the VWAP here. It made that one pop, and then it's not doing anything.
It's just it can't get above this 422.76. It's just struggling so bad right now, man. Here it is. Come on, do it.
I've got some regrets of things I've missed here this morning that I should have taken. I gotta get more aggressive on my trading. I really do.
I feel like today I've been very aggressive. I really feel like I've been trading a lot. I've been very aggressive. Yeah, it's good or bad, but I don't know. But today I feel like I've been more on the aggressive side, right? So. Glad I'm not alone with the chatter. Hi, I joined Lambos and Garbage Truck last week. Somehow my VWAP never matches with your VWAP. Wonder why. Nick, what platform are you using? DAS as well? What are you using?
Yeah, that's the first question. That's a good one.
Make sure we're comparing apples to apples. Okay, POTR. if you don't sell here, I'm gonna get out. If you don't sell off this 169.20, I'm gonna bail. Trading view. Okay, so yeah, it could be slightly different from platform to platform. I'll send you. I have a
Yeah.
screenshot of my breakdown. Here it is. There we go, Tesla. Let's go. Come to Papa. It could be different from uh, uh from platform to platform, but it shouldn't be by much. Shouldn't be by much. So do
The
me a favor.
the key
Go
thing to
ahead.
look
Yeah.
is sorry, the key thing to look at it, I don't know how it measures it on that platform, but do you include pre-market data or not? Because that often can
Mm,
make a
yeah.
difference.
Or
Some
anchored too, right? Is it anchored or not, right?
anchored is a big one. I'm assuming
Yep.
there it's not an anchored VWAP, but yes, obviously that's something to look at if it is an anchored VWAP. But yeah, if it includes pre-market data, like a lot of the big stocks we watch, it doesn't make that much of a difference because there's so little volume pre-market compared to how much volume happens during the day. But when you get something like Tesla that had a lot more pre-market volume than normally, it will move that VWAP a little bit more. So
Oh man, it's just PLTR is just toying with us. My goodness, look at that. Goes down, comes right
yeah.
back up, and it just continues to be this level here. You know what though? If we break this, it should be like a boom, like a flush down to 168.51, man. All the this is a bad. This is like a bad. This is a big battle happening right here. I mean, this is just wow. The struggles. Um. So let's see. Robbie, that's my thought, man. But the fact that it's not doing it, it's taking so long. This level is very strong. This 169.20 level is really, really strong here. Um, yeah. See, look at the bounce again. Buyers are holding this tough, man. Uh, Tesla pulling down my stop for 20. Oh yeah, we're out of Tesla. We're out of Tesla. Let's see here. Pull back a little bit. Oh, give us a chance to get out for 20. We are out. We're out of Tesla and PLTR.
Uh-huh. BLTR is really like I've got a daily level at 169.22
This is
and it is bouncing off of
crazy.
that. Like it just keeps bouncing off of that. Well, looks like Tesla's decided, at least for now, it's once again a 420 stock. So,
Yeah, I think I got out for 419, but pretty close. Pretty close. PLTR. Too much buying pressure. So you guys, so do you guys, does your VWAP include pre-market data? Because I was wondering about that too. How do you guys do your VWAP? So no, it does not include pre-market data.
oh, you don't. Okay. I do.
Oh, you do? Yeah,
Let's
I don't
see.
have pre-market. Do
Yeah,
I?
I do. I calculate for pre and post market hours, so I do include pre-market data.
Oh, yeah, but it wouldn't really matter because of the volume. Like even if you
Right.
include it, it
It doesn't.
shouldn't be a big difference, guys. Um, you
Again,
know?
most of the time, like again,
Yeah.
Tesla
If you
today, I can
right.
imagine it would move because it had just that much extra volume. But most of
Mm-hmm.
the time, on the majority of the stuff we watch, it doesn't make a difference. Low floats, they can be a whole different story, right? Because you can get a lot of volume
Oh
pre-market
well,
that
yeah.
actually eclipses the regular volume. So it depends on what you're watching.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Um, because I done both, and I didn't see. But again, I checked it just on a couple of tickets. I didn't see a big difference at all. But yeah, you're right. Depending on the
Right.
stock, and I don't trade low flow, so I really don't. Wouldn't affect me much.
Yeah,
Uh,
so for instance, I've got my Tesla VWAP here. I've got two different charts that I automatically set up, and let's exclude pre-market. So without pre-market, the VWAP I see on Tesla is 420.25. With the pre-market, it's 420.80. So, that's
Hmm.
a 55 cent
Yeah. Yeah.
difference in where the VWAP is.
Yep. Yep.
And then what does the VWAP on the level 2 say? Because you can put it there, and that is 420.50, which is sort of right between the two, which is interesting. So it all depends on
Yeah.
how this
Yeah.
thing gets calculated, right?
No, I agree. Agree. Um. All right. So POTR heading in the right direction, but we're not even at 1 hour yet. So I want to be somewhat patient on this thing. Oh, here we go. Yeah, finally something. All right. Marcus making us work today for our money. This is not acceptable. Not acceptable, market.
How dare we have to work for our,
Yeah,
our money, eh?
it's, it's unheard of. Unheard of.
It's
Uh,
ridiculous.
say the two guys that worked for years for corporations, nine to
Yeah,
five, which
I know.
when you're in management, you never put in just 40 hours. It's crazy the amount of hours that you put in. And I can imagine you at a CEO level. Just can imagine. So
Yeah, it's
because you take the home with you take the job with you at home,
oh
right?
yeah,
Like even though you might not be on the
absolutely. You're
laptop
never
answering
off.
emails, your mind does not turn
Yeah.
off. So you're always thinking, oh, I got this problem. Like, how can I fix this? Like, not in a bad way, just always thinking, you know? Um, I'm gonna take
Yep,
a
it was
partial
uh, it
here.
was exhausting. And I look, I tried not to complain too much because I know the company, you got paid a lot of money for what I did. Like the
Right,
relative
right.
effort that I had to put in any given hour was actually relatively low. Like you said, you just never got to turn off. So I figured the
Yeah,
company
yeah,
owns me. They're paying me for that ownership.
yeah, yeah,
That sort of
yeah.
that was my theory. And and hey, I mean, it made the salary that allowed me to, retire as early as I did and come and do this. So I can't really complain too much.
100%. All right,
Okay, I'm watching
looking
MU.
good on
I still,
PLTR.
why didn't I take MU at the all-time highs? 160. Ugh, would have been a good
I'm
short
going
from there.
to hold the crap out of this to make all my money back.
PLTR. Finally.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go, Carlos. Well done. You're,
let's
you're gonna make PLTR pay for all your other
pay for
sins? Is
all the other
that
trades. Yeah, so I'm
it?
holding here. We're not taking a partial yet. It's got to pay for everything. It's got to get me in the green, and this is not how you trade if you're
I
watching as
see.
friends for the first time. You don't trade like this. You
Don't
don't
do what I
trade.
do, is what you're
Don't do
saying.
what I'm doing right now.
Uh,
In fact, cut the fee. Cut the fee. This is not what you want to teach. But um, I would have taken a part. I would by now I would have taken like 4 partials here. But we're gonna try to milk this as
you
much as
know,
we can.
you say that, Greedo. Greedo, you're saying Elon puts in 80 plus hours, 100% focus, 0% noise. I can't agree with you on that. I've seen a lot of his tweets. You can't tell me that's not noise. So everybody needs, to relax at some point, and nobody's 100% focused on anything. I don't argue that he's absolutely a workaholic and he works long hours, but I think he gets distracted pretty easily. He's just he's got a big brain. He can keep a lot of stuff sort of in there at the same time. So
And I think it's different type of work too, right? You surround yourself with people that can get your vision done, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
He's like his the
I
lady
mean,
that runs his SpaceX. Everybody raves about her. Like
yeah.
she's a really good CEO. So he has his vision. He
Right.
gets to this person. She's putting in the hours, right, and the team under him. So
Right.
I think he's a smart man, and he
S-
works a lot, probably thinking and having meetings, which is not that hard to do.
Yeah.
Like these
No.
meetings, nah. The hard work is being done. Nah, Peter, you've been
Yeah.
in CEO position.
No, it's I like
You know,
I've always agreed with that, right? I mean, there's a lot of thinking work that goes on, but you're right. Like if you compare, I don't know, you compare, your average day of an executive in a bunch of boardrooms, a bunch of meetings compared to your average beat cop or teacher or sewer maintenance worker, right? Like just the all of those are so very different in terms of what you need to do, the level of effort. And I would argue
hmm
of all those I just mentioned, yeah, that meeting based CEO, easiest job of those. Absolutely.
yeah. But
But
again, we got to give
we
him
also have to
credit.
keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking about what Guido was saying. I've worked in a lot of boardrooms, and I will readily acknowledge there are some people that even working at 20% capacity or 20% focus, however you want to word it, are much more effective than some people when they're doing 100%. Like there are just very capable people who
Yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
have to pay full attention to get a better job done than others. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's the people at the top echelon either. Like I've run into operational people who are like, I'm like, I remember having these conversations with some people. I'm like, look, if you would just put in the effort, they're like, I don't want to. My life is good, right? I come to work, I do my thing, and often they're programmers or they because I worked in IT, right? So it was like a tech guy, and it would be like, why don't you focus more? And because I could really use your effort. They're like, dude, you know what? This is a cushy job. I get my work done. You're happy generally with what I do. I go home. I drink with the boys at night. I play with the kids. On the weekends, I go to the cottage. Like I got everything I want in life. I don't really
Yeah.
want to put the effort in. And you can sit there and say, "Oh my God, it's such a waste." But I can't argue now having a little more perspective. They might have got it right a lot earlier than I did. And just,
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
why do I want to focus 100% of my talents on this? Let me, I'll give you my 20 or 30%. You give me my nice salary, and I'll just, I'll live my life
Yeah.
in a pleasing way. And I'm like, now that sounds actually like a smart plan. So.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, Ravi saying, yeah, software engineer. You can confirm you never pay 100% focus. But it's that type of job, right? Where you get some really, really smart people that just say, you know what? I know what the company wants of me. I can do just enough to, sort of get good reviews and do my job and move on
Yeah.
with life. And some people take the other percentage and they focus on other business stuff. And those are the people who often end up going and starting their own companies or doing other things. They join, sort of startups, and then they, something that's they're passionate about where they focus. But some people choose to focus that on family or pursuits or hobbies or, I mean, I knew a lot of software engineers that they were huge into gaming. And that's where they focused most of their talents and efforts, right? It was on their gaming activities because they're like, coding is boring. I mean, yeah, I could do more and I could do better, but why? I really don't
Yeah.
enjoy it. It just pays the bills. So I'm like, all right, like you need people like that, frankly. And I sort of pride myself in my career that I was able to say, you know what, I'm not going to penalize you for you. If that's what you want, I need people like you. I need people who are
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
doing what they're doing for years at a time because that's what keeps this department running or the business running. At the end of the day, it's a lot of the people that just say, I'm just going to keep doing this job competently and capably. You can trust me. I don't want a promotion. I don't want to upgrade. Yeah, give me a raise. Make sure that you're keeping my salary reasonable and competitive. But other than that, leave me alone. Let me get the job done.
Yeah.
Cool. Want you part of my team.
That's it.
So, anyways,
Now everybody wants to be a leader. That you
yeah,
need all kinds of people. So to run something properly. So
absolutely.
that's okay. Wherever you're happy at.
Yeah, you got absolutely because you know where you need to spend your effort. Usually as a manager, this is what people miss, right? You got to spend your effort on It's the 80-20 rule, right? You got to spend your effort on the 20% that cause 80% of the noise. They're the ones you got to find and weed
Mm-hmm.
out. And unfortunately, there's a lot of managers that say they're too hard. I just don't want to pay attention to them. But they end up sucking energy out of your team, and
Yeah,
that's
that's the
what
bad
costs you.
apples.
That
Mm-hmm.
the bad apples, exactly. That's what usually brings you down. So, anyways, that's just my opinion. But
Yep, yep. All right, we're
I mean, I
still
might.
in PLTR looking for another low here to see what happens. But
It's
it's
bouncing
not
here, Carlos. Have you taken a
yeah, it
partial,
is.
please?
I
Oh, you
taken one.
did.
No, I taken
Okay,
one
you
already.
did.
Yeah, I taken one. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Taken
All
one.
right. All right.
And
I didn't want you completely swinging for the fences here.
no, 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 no.
All
So 168 was pretty good. Took one there.
right. Good.
And let's see if we have anything else. And I still want to get Tesla. I still want to get Tesla on a long, but it is plain hard to
That
get.
that Carlos,
Ah,
that sounds very revengey to
I
me.
know, it sounds very revenge. You know what? We'll get it tomorrow. We'll get it a different day.
Yeah.
It just might not be today.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
that's it. We're
There'll
gonna
there'll
get
be
you for
another
what you
day
did
on
to
it.
us here, playing with our emotions. Um. All right, so PLTR pulling back. We took a partial already. I'm looking to see if there's anything left here toward the downside, but might not be. Which has dropped a lot too. Like 171. Look at if you look at the 5, you can see it clear, right? Had the big leg down. We went short here. VWAP test and right back down. Took a partial at the low of the day here. I mean, this is wanting more. It's gonna be tough on this one. So 168, we might take another partial if we go above 168.51. Won't get out of it yet because I think there's some more downside, hopefully, but we'll see. What was the other one? You guys mentioned one that was close to VU. I think Oracle. Yeah, someone called Oracle here for a short. Nice rejection there. But since I was in PLTR, just focused on this here. And yeah, Corey, Rocket Lab, Oracle, Tesla. Question is from Taryn, for a beginner slash intermediate day trader. What do you think is a reasonable average monthly profit percentage? Wow, that's a
There's no such thing.
tough
There's no
question,
such
man.
thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's we're not gonna answer with a percentage. I'll tell you that right now. Because we've been
Yeah.
through that, and percentages numbers at first they're important, right? Listen, nobody does day trading just because you like hanging out with us. I know you love hanging out with us, but that's not what you got into trading. You got into trading because we want to make money, right? That's the thing. But at first, the percentages, man, it's just you got to focus on the process, right? And I know it sounds so cliche and blah blah blah. Yeah, the process, we get it. Carlos, follow your rules, trade book, and all this stuff. But it's like the minute you start putting pressure on percentages, you start then trading to hit those percentages, and that's where the problem comes in, right? There's some months I do very well, other months that I don't do so well. Still a green month, but you can't live off these percentages every month, right? And I'm just not focused on that. I'm just focused on good, clean trading, right? Peter, you could add to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, let's just say theoretically it's possible to make $10,000 a month. Well, you could theoretically do it off of a $10,000 account if you're not in the US, because you have to worry about the PDT rule. Do you still have to worry about that? I think it's still a thing in the US, right?
Yeah, still a thing. Yeah,
Pattern day trading rule.
yeah. I think
because I heard that they were going to
everybody's
remove
saying
it.
end of this year. It's going to the board end of this year to review. Well, it's at the board. They got to review it. And then they're saying like 2026, like maybe February, January is probably when it's going to kick in. But then platforms, different brokers have to actually go through the chain. That also can take a while. So, but people are very confident that's actually going to go through eventually.
Yeah. So anyway, so theoretically, if you manage your sizes perfectly and you had some a lot of great trading and discipline, you could make 10,000 off a $10,000 account. but you can make the same 10,000 off of $100,000 account or $1 million account. So your win percentage, monthly would go from 100% to 10% to 1%, right? And nothing changed. You would do the exact same thing. It just depends on your account size. So we're not trying to be difficult, but the reality is really what you need to focus on is how much risk am I prepared to take per trade? What can I trade comfortably? And then figure out, your trading strategy. How many of those trades am I likely to be able to capitalize on over the course of a month, and how many are available to me? And that's where you're going to figure out some numbers that will make sense to you. If you're trading a strategy that only occurs once a day, and you only have one shot at it, and it's only reasonable for you to win 3 out of those 5 trades, well, you've got a very different basis for your number calculation from your earnings potential compared to if you're a high frequency trader and you've got 50 opportunities a day, but you only win 30% of them. Like now it comes down to managing your risk. So, yeah, anyways, I'm overcomplicating it, I suppose, to the answer you probably wanted, but the reality is it's not a simple answer. So, which is why, there's so much, we provide anyway, so much course material and so many others, right? They try and simplify it, and I get it, right? It's always tempting to simplify things, but the reality is it's not easy to actually do it. So we don't want to give you a number that you say, okay, that's what I should do, and then wonder why you can't achieve it. That we'd be doing you a disservice. I'm worried. Is Carlos on mute, or am I just not hearing him?
No.
Okay, you're on mute. Okay, you're there. All right.
Yep,
You're
I'm
good.
here.
Okay.
All
I'm watching
right,
MU's. MU's gone
go.
back to previous day close, and PLTR for Carlos. There it is.
Yes. So why the PDT rule? So the PDT rule is so weird because I think it was set, but it doesn't really help what they're trying to protect, right? So they're trying to protect retail traders from margins and being and losing their money. So for example, if you start with $2,500, right, and you get margins times 4, and you go in an account, you start trading on margins, it's so easy to blow through that 2,500, quickly, right? Because you're betting margins, you don't know what you're doing. So the idea was to prevent retail traders from trading unless they had an account that was sizable enough, trying to match it with experience, right? Like, if you have $25,000 and you went to trade, then you must have experience. Not really. I've seen people, this guy over here, start with $40,000, no experience. So right. It doesn't translate. It doesn't do what they thought it was going to do. Now, I'm sure it deters some people from getting into risky marginal trades, right? But then it creates bad habits, because then I met traders where they had $5,000, $10,000, and they got into, they were day trading, trying to keep between that 3 trades per 5-day period. And when we reviewed their journal, they were holding on to things overnight because they did not want to lose a trade for the day. I'm like, wait, what? So it did the opposite. It was encouraging really bad behavior for day traders, like holding stuff overnight or not closing this out because they want to close it out tomorrow so they don't get hit with the 1-day round trip. It's worse. It doesn't help. So I'm sure somebody thought it was a good idea, and maybe back when it was set up, it maybe did prevent certain things from happening. But now with all the accessibility that we have, right, you can have $5,000 go overseas and day trade. You can do what Cassie's did because you're not on margins. But there's so many ways that you can lose your money without having the PDT protect you, right? So I think the idea, I get it, but it doesn't work for the intended purpose.
It's also weird I find it weird that look, there's so many other avenues in life that you can lose all your money unprotected. You could put it all on lottery tickets. You could go to the casino. You could open a small business. Like, why when it comes to stock trading, do we suddenly have to put rules to protect people's money like their children? Like, just, right. I don't know. Why treat it different?
It's stupidest thing I ever heard. And you're right, Mike. It did come during the financial crisis, and that's more to the point too, right? Like I think they just threw something out there that they knew was, hey, we did something, right? Opposed to
Yeah.
finding other ways to say, hey, this is actually going to help traders, right? Why not
Yeah.
make a mandatory risk management course or how to trade course, 101 stuff, right? You have to do this if you want to. I'm trying to think something that's risky. I don't know. If you want to, well, here at least in Jersey, you want to, hunting rifle or whatever. Well, you got to take a couple of steps. Why not do that instead, right? That's really can help traders. Show them, hey, this is risky. You could lose all your money. Do that instead. I think that would have been more helpful. Instead, you put a restriction that doesn't really fix the problem. Man, it sounds like our politics a little bit here, but yeah, sounds like our government sometimes, not all the times, but we do some
Yeah.
very questionable things there. Um,
Sure.
but yeah, and both sides, red or left. I mean, right or left. It doesn't matter
Oh, yeah.
whether
It's
what
it's
side
just
you're on. It's just
that's bureaucracy
questionable.
more than politics.
Yeah, questionable
Sometimes.
stuff. I'm gonna take another pause here because I think things are looking a little bit suspect on PLTR.
Yeah. Did you accomplish your
So
goal? Have you got all your
I
money
did.
back?
I did. I accomplished my goal.
Okay.
But I want more, Peter. I want more, Peter. I wanna make this
Yeah.
a nice day. I'm being greedy today. It's not good.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with making more. Now, the key thing is, do you think PLTR is able to give you more? I mean, wanting more is one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Realistically believing you can make more from this trade is something else altogether.
Yeah. Eli, even a better point. Yes. So you put that to the U.S. residents, right? So if you're in the U.S., PDT applies to you. But then our friends in Canada, and I'm not saying it's their fault, they don't have the PDT rule. How does that make any sense? So you only care to apply to us, but anybody else has the freedom to do what they want? It doesn't make no sense whatsoever,
Well, I mean, hey,
right?
I just live north of the border here in Canada, and we don't have a PDT rule, so I'm
No,
able
you
to
don't.
trade the
Yeah.
U.S. markets on an
Yeah.
account as small as $5,000,
Yeah.
and with no restrictions. So
Which, if you think about it, makes perfect sense, right? Let somebody start with a small amount, see what it's about, opposed to having someone save up, 30K, and then realize that, oh crap, this is not for me. I lost a bunch of money, right? Let them start with 2,500, see how hard this is, right? $5,000, you know? But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So hopefully it goes away. But for new traders listening to that, just make sure that, still go through the process of learning, right? I could see a bunch of new
yeah,
traders jumping in. Now they got, $5,000 saved and they want to try this. There's going to be a lot of people just, throwing money away. So just make sure you
yeah.
go through the learning process. We got a funded account. We got similars. We got all these things you got to go through first. So if you're starting out, make sure you're focusing on that learning process. All right, 2 partials on PLTR so far, which is nice. So we recovered the losses for today on Tesla, as it's trying to come back here to the VWAP, but I won't take another trade on it. I want to close my day green. I'm not. Tesla has been messing with us, but it's funny. This will be the time that it actually goes. That's how it normally is, right? This will be the time where it'll take off and we won't be in it. So gotta crawl before you walk. Yes, 100%.
Don't project.
None of the educational software trading groups existed then. They know it is no longer relevant. Yeah, it's no longer relevant, but I think even now, so for example, when I started trading, I just said, hey, I'm just gonna take money and just open an account and see what happens. I still didn't go for the education part, so I think people are still gonna try to do that on their own.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then now it's just more accessible, so it's not good in that sense, right? So yeah, so it's I don't know. I think people are still gonna try to do this on their own and not really follow the learning plan or route first, right? So, But you're right. There's everything now. There's so much information out there. Communities, YouTube videos. I think people are more aware, at least have more knowledge, right? But you're still gonna have those
Well,
knuckleheads like
yeah,
me.
and I think the tools are also more better equipped to manage traders. I mean, there could have been a concern at one point. You don't want to flood the market with a bunch of crazy retailers that are going to disrupt things. Nowadays, the markets want that volume, right?
Yeah.
The retailers are an important part of market management, I think. And you have your GameStops and things that are happening, but as much as some have complained about it, right? The gamification of trading. The reality
Mm-hmm.
is they're celebrating companies like Robinhood that frankly Robinhood grew up on GameStop, right? Like it that's what really propelled it to the status
Yeah.
it's at today and gave it the opportunity to sort of play with the big boys in the market. So, it's I don't know. Retailers are a much more important part of the market ecosystem than we ever used to be.
Yeah.
Individually, we're still, tiny little
Yeah.
amoebas on the back of the
Yeah.
fleas on the back of the buffaloes, but
Right. Right.
collectively,
It's a big
we're a
chunk. I
giant
mean,
fungus.
yeah. Yeah, it's a big chunk. A big chunk.
Well, and because you got to remember, right? Like if you go back older days, it used to be the markets, they would call retail traders, all of us, we were the dumb money, right? And as dumb money, we were just fodder, right? So they would hope that we'd put our money in and they'd take it from us. So, I get it. The legislators, who put in the PDT rule thought they were protecting us from
The
ourselves and from
smaller
being
traders.
taken
Yeah.
advantage
Yeah.
of. And it was an uneven playing field with the technology that I said. I think the world has changed significantly where our money isn't as dumb as it used to be.
Mm.
Look,
Yeah.
but that being said, there's a lot of uneducated individuals who are putting money in, and yes, they're going to lose it. But again, how is that any different than anything else out there, right? There's a lot of people
Yeah. Yeah.
driving very expensive cars that shouldn't. And you're not going to say find a dealership looking saying, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, all they want to make sure is, do you think you can pay the bills? I mean, the fact that what is the show Repo Men or whatever, the fact that there's a show about people repossessing cars that they couldn't afford to make the payments on.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
just,
I've seen that. Yeah.
you know,
Interesting stuff. Yeah.
so, there's no watchdog saying, I'm not sure you should buy that car. I don't think you can afford it. Really,
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately, you go to a lender, they're like, hey, look, as long as they don't think reasonably you're going to default, they'll give you all the money you can take, whether you should buy the car or not. Speaking of cars, did I get my car back? I have not. Actually, I need to update my. I traded
Uh,
a dozen messages with the dealership on Friday, and every time there's an excuse, right? On Friday, anyways, this minor repair they were supposed to be making that was not working. And then they're
yeah.
like, we got the technician, we got the shop foreman in there, everybody's working on it. I'm like, what?
Everybody
Are you
knows
gonna
about
now
Peter's
charge me?
car.
Oh my
For these
God, yeah.
people.
But are they gonna charge me like 100 hours to fix something that should have taken an hour? Like I'm gonna be looking at that bill like a hawk and say, look, I want rack
Yeah.
rate on that. The fact that you couldn't figure it out, that's not my problem, man.
Yeah. Don't do billable hours
Yeah.
trying to figure out the problem.
Yeah, what's
Billable
what's
hours
what's
on
rack rate on this?
fixing the problem, right? Not trying to figure it out. So that's important. All right, first I took another partial here because although we are dropping nicely, I think this might be done. This might be the lowest we get, 167, at least for now, at least for right now. And friends, coming up to 11 here, help us get to 400. That is our goal by 11. We want to be at 400. We're at 360, so hit those thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton here. So, and it's gonna help out my PLTR trade if we have 400 likes or more. I might actually get my target here at 167.45 if we can get there. So hit those likes to help my trade. It'll be awesome. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It reminded me of this gambling, right? What we went to when I went to Florida, we went to the Hard Rock Cafe down there, and my brother went in. He was playing the roulette table, and he sat down. I'm like, I'll just watch. I was feeling too nice to sit at that table. I knew it was gonna happen. I was feeling too good.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll just enjoy it through you. So he sat down. He went with like $200. No, we don't gamble. $200, and it got swallowed up like so fast. And then we started watching other people play, and we realized that, okay, that's what they do. They put a lot of chips and all the numbers on the lines and this and that. The guitar one, yes, I love the guitar. It was awesome. It looks great at night too. So then he went back and he took out 400. Like, all right, 400. Boom, he took it out, and now he was playing a little more smart after seeing the other dude that was playing, and he doubled it. He came out at 800. I'm like, and it's so funny because when he cashed out, everybody looked at him like, "You're leaving?" Like, yeah, I done my money. I'm out of here. I am out, my friend. So he cashed out and went and had a good time. So it was awesome. No, he more than doubled it because he made 800. So he went with 400. He made 800 on top of the 400.
Okay.
So he did pretty well. It was a really good night. It was a really good night for him. Again, you go in there with no expectations, right? And then as we're just sitting there, within that process of my brother Trey, was sitting down for probably like 40 minutes. This guy comes in and he wants to buy like $10,000 of chips, and we're like, everybody's looking like, what the hell? And the lady asks him, I didn't know this, but the chips are by color, and they don't have a number on it. So what they do is they assign a value. So she asked him, do you want to double the chips? And the fact that he did not understand that question, he was betting so much, got everybody shocked. Again, I knew this. I found this after the fact. Right now I don't know what's going on, so somebody explain to me later because I don't gamble. Instead of like if one chip is worth 5, for example, it'll be worth 10 because he's buying so much. Because if he buys them at the regular price that everybody else is at, you're going to have way too many chips. He doesn't have that many chips for you. And somebody had to explain it to him, and then he said, yeah, and that's when we all knew this is trouble. The guy did not last 20 minutes, Peter. Kid you not. This table swallowed up that 10 grand like it was nothing. I'm just like, I never seen anything like that. And he just walked off like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I just dropped 20 grand without, I mean, I could take you to a lot of places. We could have a lot of fun for a lot of hours for 20 grand. Like, come on, man. It was 20. No, I think it was like 10. No, it was like 10. It was not 20. It was like 10. It was a big number. It was like a number that had all of us shocked. I think it was like 10 grand. It's like, geez, man.
That happens all the time. That's how casinos make their money, right? People will. It always amazes me how much money people have to waste on stuff.
All I see is those chips going into the hole. Just put some in. I'm like, this thing is just swallowing everything.
You notice? Roulette. It was roulette. You said you were playing, right?
Roulette, the one with the little ball. And I don't know how they hit the ball so hard. Where they hit the ball so hard and it goes so fast. Like, how do they do that? I want to know how to do that. Boop! It's just so quick. It's awesome. Yeah.
It's a little flick. The little flick they got. But what I love is how they get their token or whatever, and they always have that. They always hold the token. To me, it's always like the same way. I don't have like a good token here I can demonstrate with, but they always have that little thing that they put on top of the
that glass thing.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
like a glass thing.
They always pop it down on whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And then they take their arms and they just sweep all the other chips off the table, right? Sweep you guys are all dead. You guys are all dead.
It's fun to watch, man. We got to have a BBT gambling hotel meetup. We had to do it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh man, good stuff.
Oh, look at that. Geralt of Rivia just won $50 in roulette on an app while we were talking.
Oh, boy.
All right. There you go. Gaming online. That's a whole different problem.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Mr. Davis. So, the house always wins was definitely full display. Like, no matter how much people were, like, my brother Cass, like, we got you. No, you didn't get them. You know, you made a little tiny fraction of what this table is swallowing. It's just unbelievable.
It was like promo money. It was like their marketing money, right? Yeah, they're happy. They want a few people like your brother to win occasionally because that's what keeps people coming back, right?
Yeah,
I saw this guy. He tripled his money and left, and off he went. And,
that's awesome.
And they're happy to give you because because his $800 win might propel another $10,000 guy to come in and dump his cash
Yeah,
on the
could do the
table.
same thing too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. He did it. He did it with
wild.
$400. I could do it with 4,000. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably not.
it's wild, man.
Probably not.
Definitely very interesting.
Anyway.
Again, I've been to casinos, never sat at a table or anything like that, and that was pretty cool.
Okay.
All right.
Gotta live through your brother.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, friends. Tesla. I'm PTR is getting a little boring here.
You still?
Oh,
Yeah, are you still
Tesla?
hanging in there?
Peter, what are we thinking?
Carlos.
Come on, we made our money back. We could take this gamble here.
That's it's up to you, buddy. I'm
man.
not weighing it either way. It's not my trade.
It is not condoning these actions at the moment.
It might work. It might not. I really don't know.
Might back above the view up again. This will be such. Even if it works, it will be such a bad thing to do. Unless we get a strategy here. Sean, I am having fun this morning. It was like a rough morning. We traded a lot. I mean, how many trades I took? Let's go back. Tesla, long, took a partial, stopped out. Long again, stopped out. This was the big loser today. Thankfully, we recovered it with POTR. And then, so 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. Okay, so not too bad. It felt like I did way more than that.
So not that many. Yeah.
Nah, it's
yeah,
not that
it felt
many.
like a lot more.
It felt like
I think you were looking at a lot of trades, right? So
yeah.
I don't know, Carlos. It's Tesla. I gotta admit, it sort of looks
itching. I'm itching right now.
I know you're.
Oh man. You know what? I'm thinking about my feelings. If this thing loses and I go back to red, I'll be so pissed. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna protect my emotional capital here. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go. See, that's a good way to think about it. Absolutely.
What I'm going to do.
It's not about the cash in this case. It's about your emotional capital that you need for tomorrow.
Need it for tomorrow. We'll get Tesla tomorrow. But it looks very good here. If it does bounce off this VWAP, it does look really nice. Has done this before though.
Would you take a smaller trade?
I would take a smaller trade. Yeah, we could take a smaller trade. Look at the bounce here.
I don't want to encourage you into.
And it struggled. No, that's a. I'm glad you mentioned that, Peter. That's a good idea. You know, take a smaller risk. So what we'll do here is, if I do want to go here, we change this over. All right, take a smaller trade.
I'm worried about the entry now.
It took too long. 421 was where it was at. You know, smaller.
Carlos, the agony in your voice.
You know what? Because I got to type it in. You know, I can't hit the hotkey now. If I small trade, I got to type it in. So it takes a while to type it in. Yeah, it's just I thought about it too late. It's a good idea, though. Smaller trade was perfect. It's a great way to go about that. I think POTR is done. I'm just going to take everything off here because I do want to catch up with my wife, see how she's doing down in DR. And
I
want to have this. Oh, okay. Tesla POTR is trying to give us a little bit more before we leave. Thor's coming up next. No, let's just take another partial. Why not? Take another partial on POTR. And Tesla, you might have missed our entry here. It's 11 o'clock already. Okay, let's see where Thor is. I see Nathan is on. Nathan, good morning to you, sir.
Hey, what's up? Nope, it's just me today. You have to.
Just you? Okay.
Yeah, he's
not just you. It's you.
It's you.
It is
me.
It is
exactly. The Nathan show.
It's you, my friend.
Unless you guys want to join me hang out.
I am
also
out, man. I would, but
tomorrow, just to put it out there right now, JT from Spot Gamma will be back tomorrow. So we'll get some options talk. Which is good because we're in OpEx this week. So
yeah. Nice. Nice.
How have you
Still
guys done today?
We're it's been
good.
quiet for me. I've only had one little trade. Carlos has been the active guy.
I've been,
He's been having we've been having fun with Carlos today.
yeah, it's been
Nice.
pretty active. All right, friends, over on YouTube, we'll let you with Nathan. Oh, and Tesla, we were right about Tesla here. Look, it's gonna go here, man. Looks really good. And the level 2 showing some signs of strength, but I'm not gonna take it. Guys over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. 397, three more to get that 400 before we hop off, which is our go. And then our good man Nathan is gonna continue with you guys here. So, guys, have a great trading day.
And Nathan, if you're alone for the full hour, let me. I need a little break here after the 3 hours, and
Yeah,
I'll come back
absolutely.
and see how you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
All
all
right,
right.
awesome.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
Nathan. Let me just flip you over here. Oh, I got you in both places. Let's cut one out. Let me just see here. Okay, there we go. All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
All right. What's going on, everybody? How are you today? Yeah, Tom, I agree. But that was the one thing I talked to Spot Gamma about, and I think they understand too, is just like a lot of things in trading, once you start hearing some of the things over and over again, they start to make more sense because you just start using more and picking up more. So I think them coming on, every month, they really wanted to do OpEx weeks. So OpEx is the third Friday of every month. So they want to come on that Tuesday. And that's a great time to start learning about options because this is the week options will really start to impact the market and really start to come in play. Sorry, I was with Peak Capital today and now my throat's all dry. We were looking at and talking about PLTR and what the setup for me would be on this. And I would like to see this thing sweep this low right here into S4, sweeps this low into S4, puts in a bottoming tail, a hammer or a nice candle like this one right here. But just some sort of bottoming tail that shows that we swept lower, grabbed some liquidity. I'm not a big fan of this candle right here. Sweeping lower. This is a nice full body sell candle. Not a big fan of that one. So I'd like to see a nice sweep push below this with some volume very quickly right here into S4, put in a bottoming tail, and then look to kind of make that run higher. Let's see what the book looks like. And I have been messing with Atlas, guys. So I've been trying to get familiar with it. I was trying to bring it up before I came on here, but I couldn't get it set up. But yeah, I mean, we're still looking pretty bullish, but we definitely have some liquidity down here. We could sweep all the way down to 167. I mean, this would be a great sweep down here to grab this. And then they would have enough inventory definitely to make that move higher. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Get a nice V-shaped reversal. Like this reversal is not bad. Just don't like that candle. Let's see. You're long gold, Toby? Nice. I haven't looked at gold in a while. I kind of took gold and oil off my watch list. I seem to get enough alerts with just Russell, Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. So they seem to keep me pretty busy and doing pretty well. Hey, Laughing Stock. Tag monthly R3. I didn't see monthly R3 on here. Or monthly S3. Sold, couldn't reach Friday. Oh, it sold off of it. Oh, yeah, I do also know that I seem to notice that the cams, once you get on other sides of the cams, even though we're looking to buy over S3, under S3 does seem to become some resistance at times, and especially, that with S4, but even over the top of R3 can sometimes find some support there. Thoughts on Oracle Bookmap? Well, Oracle's one of my new favorite companies just because their founder and CEO is basically funding Michigan's success with with finally getting some high-end players and some good players. So I have to be an Oracle bull right now. Just because I want to see that continue for Michigan. It's nice that we can start to compete now for some of these top players, which they had a great game this weekend, so I'm pretty happy about that. We looked really good, better than we did the week before. And let's see, overall, yeah, especially we got a big order block though through here. So this looks more structured to the downside. The ladder looks more structured, but we have a big order block. It also keeps coming in. I mean, this may be an iceberg coming in through here. So pulling off of this area to break up through this over 310, we would need some volume. But definitely heavy to the top side. We're just structured better to the downside. So if we pull down a little bit, grab some liquidity, the market makers would need some inventory if they're wanting to push through here and try to get that participation to distribute. But we could run a little bit lower, but we would need volume. And it looks like right now there's not much volatility in here, so it would be difficult to run through here if we don't start getting some volume to pick up. Jim, oh man, I know I'm ready for that Washington game too. It's a rematch. I'm just glad we don't have to play Oregon this year. But Washington's still going to be a tough game. I think that's at Washington too, isn't it? So that'll be even tougher. Let's see. And then let me see. LTR. I'll have to keep up with the questions. I'm terrible at that. Let's see, CK. Let's look at Apple. But let me take some of this stuff off of there. It's kind of looking at MYM, but it looked like it made that fade without me. I tried to fade today on ES, but I got stopped out on that one. But I was looking here now. Yeah, it looks like it's taken off without me. I still want to go back to PLTR though. Let's see. Yeah, it's not coming back down. Oops. Let's look at Apple. I haven't looked at Apple in a while. Let me see. It's right at wide day. It's holding over R3. Now we're holding over VWAP. So, I mean, this is some nice trending price action. We're getting into this gap here. What does our 30 look like? There's a nice bounce off a 30-minute fair value gap. Respecting this one. Didn't quite close it. Trying to respect that one. Let's see. So let's see if we fade back down. It'd be difficult to go long here. I mean, if you're wanting to go long, like I would be wanting price to come back down into this area. But that's right at R3, so that wouldn't be a very solid long. Short wise, this price action is really nice. This engulfing candle, I would expect this to hold right at VWAP. It's a 5-minute. This area would be where you would look for a long, but I would not take a long into R3. Those just aren't very successful. We rejected off of R4. But we're in a higher range. If you were wanting to go short, I mean, it's kind of in that range, but you'd really like to see it come back up here with these two topping wicks into this area and into R4. So you could get the best entry for that short. But it's really respecting this bearish gap, and then you have this gap up here. So this would actually be a nice area. This area up in and around R4, this gap right here. That would be a nice area to look for, a fade back down. But MYM has come back down below R3. I'm gonna watch that one for a little bit and see what happens. But yeah, it's just got really good bullish price action. Here's kind of your first lower high, swing high. So let's see. Let's see what happens. And our book is pretty bullish. Hmm. We're pretty void down here. So even getting into this area, right, heading into 238, I'd need to see these orders start to come on a little bit lower. We didn't even really have them when we faded off that level before. That lets you know this algorithm is active. I mean, this kind of move and then not really having the book to come down, you can kind of see that that algorithm's active. These orders are getting pulled as we move up into them. So we definitely know that algorithm's active up here around R4. It's just when is it going to come back in again? I would expect it up into this area from around 39 to about 69 to start watching for it. And then you're going to get some accumulation in there. And then that algorithm just to slam price down and break a low, like a 1 minute low. That could let you know that this algorithm's starting to come back in. But it looks like we'll need it to get up into this area. I mean, we're starting to get some bearish price action coming in, but I'd be greedy with my entry. I'd want it up here rather than in this area. I would rather I'd rather get it up here. And then even that fade back into VWAP could be a nice play. But this is about equilibriums. You know, it's just not really an area to take a long or a short. You know, your longs would need to get back down here, but then you're playing into an area where you'd expect to sell. Let's see. See, I scroll down and then I lose some of the questions. Taryn, what platform am I using? You recognize TradingView, but what is the other one? This is Bookmap. This is until Atlas starts to come in. This is mainly what I use for trading, for making my trading decisions. It's just a platform for to visualize price action and order flow. So I like to geek out and really get into the nitty gritty, close into price action and reading, buying and selling. And this just makes it so much easier to do that versus, you know, the more aggregated data on a candlestick chart. It just allows you to see such more, especially the history of exactly what went in these candles, the price action inside these candles. It just lets you see that quite a bit more. As we're starting to get in here, you see that selling starting to come in. Now this weak push. So this weak push back in with really weak buying back into that area up here would be really nice to see. Yes, Brian, Thor is traveling again. He's the traveling man. Toss switch continuous rock test trading go will switch tomorrow. Okay. I didn't know exactly when they were switched. I just wait for the platforms to kind of switch over. But as soon as I see different prices on, you know, Bookmap or my time in sales or just whatever my chart, I'll just kind of switch over. Let them tell me when to. Let's see. Yeah, Thor is moving as well. Yeah, so he's busy. This time he's traveling, but he's been packing all weekend. He had called me and tell me about how much he had packed up and how much of a workout he got with packing. He's like, I don't need to like go run or go do any workouts. He's like, this is my workout for the whole week. Let's see. With the rate decision coming soon, today might be quiet. Yeah, I mean, today is quiet. It's just nasty price action. There's just really not much going on at all. Let me go back to NYN though. So I'm going to check kind of where I'm at. Yeah, this doesn't look like a short for Dow now. Let's see. Yeah, you can see we're just kind of sweeping areas on the 30. The sweep, sweep, sweep. Just kind of let you know, just the algo is just grabbing liquidity on both sides. Nice. Ooh, look at that nice engulfing candle. Definitely do not want to short into this. This thing's engulfed on both sides. This is not a good area to short, but it's not a good area to long either. So I guess I really don't have a trade on Dow like I thought I did earlier today. It either needs to get a lot lower for me to buy or a lot higher to buy over, or a lot lower to sell or a lot higher over R4 to buy. Because I still don't want to long in this area into R4, especially on a lower range. But, if R3 wasn't here, maybe we were over the top of R4, closer to S3, like this would be an area I would look to long. Right off VWAP, wait for everything to set up, but I don't want to long, especially on a lower range day, I do not want to long into R3, but I don't want to short either because I don't like this gap and I don't like these candles. So it's just I guess it's kind of out of play for me now today. And I don't really have a setup on anything else unless NQ can come back down to R4. That would be about it. ES is over the top of R6, but it's not really setting up anything. That looks like to me. The book's still pretty bullish on it. I don't know. I may be out of trades today. Let's see. Lower range. Let's see. Oops. I mean, Russell maybe has a setup here, but this is ugly. I mean, there's not any volume. We're kind of even just opening and skipping over price levels. Like this looks like terrible. This looks terrible price action. There's just no volume here. So I don't think I could trust anything at all off of this area. Toby, you're a Washington fan. Then we'll have to talk some trash then, like that week. So we'll talk a little bit of friendly trash when we go into that week. Hopefully Michigan's looking a little bit better. They look good this week. So, but I know Washington always has a solid team. Go Ducks. Nice, Mark. Let's see. Was PLTR S3 long at 940? Let me go back to it. Oh, here we go. Maybe we're going to get that sweep now. See if we get that sweep. So higher range, it did call. Let me see. I'm trying to, but I want to see where this was throughout the day. So I'd look at a 15. Fifteen's not really giving me much info. Let me look at a 5. But I want to bring it back up because I want to see if it sweeps this low and we get that set up off of S4. I mean, it's definitely in the right area where I would look to go long off of a move like that for today. The next thing I would look for is my entry model, and this just looks like a mess. So for me, it wouldn't have been a long just because like this was just too messy. And through here, I don't really have a move higher that gapped over some highs and then a retest back. We really just got stuck right in this range and didn't really break out and come back. So this wouldn't have matched like my entry model off of S3, but everything else looked pretty decent to get that move off of there. It just really didn't set up either way, for me at least. But now I want to see if we get what we were talking about earlier. So NQ is making a run lower. So picking up some volume here. What's a 5 look like now? This would be a little worrisome if we picked up this gap because we are respecting 5-minute bearish gaps. So if we picked up a gap here, that would be a little problematic for me. We do have some topping tails. We're respecting that gap, but VWAP looks like it's in play. If we went long through here, we could have VWAP, the 15-minute. Yeah, we're respecting that 15-minute gap too. So I wouldn't want to see this continue down and start to form another 15-minute gap. Since it is respecting them, I would expect that to continue. And so this would be a scalp, and this wouldn't be like a full, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 or whatever trade for me. This would be a scalp into these areas because I see that we're respecting bearish gaps. And so as we start to form them and get back into them, I would expect that to happen again. So I would be taking partials into that area. If we start forming bullish gaps and respecting those, I may look to add back in through there. But I would be expecting something, probably not even a full trade at some point. I would just get stopped out, maybe break even or just on the rest of the shares I have. But just taking a really, really tight entry off the lowest low, nice topping, nice bottoming tail. Okay, we're filling that. So maybe that's not going to be a problem. But I still want to see that sweet, nice bottoming tail and then the push and gap starting to form to the top side. And then that retest, that weak retest back into, that bottoming tail would be my entry. But this is nice, so we don't have to worry about that. We've mitigated and balanced that gap. Balance the 1 minute. Now I just need that sweep lower. I need something to come in and convince me that we do have a big buyer down here. And I would expect it to come in around this 167 level and through this liquidity. But I want to see it grab that liquidity and then push higher. But yes, Nemesis, I mean, I think that looked like it could have been a nice S3 long. It just, that wiki price action and that setup through here, this, I don't like this. We're getting nice big candles, but we're not breaking over those highs with some force, and then coming back with the weak retest. So we just kind of got stuck right here in this gap, bouncing off VWAP, S3, VWAP, S3, VWAP, S3. And we just really couldn't form any type of direction. And so we just swept lower. But I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'll keep this one up. I want to see if we get that sweep. Let's see. I think I already went over Apple, right? Didn't I? Or you guys, if you want me to go over it again, I can definitely do that. Let's see. Okay. I don't know. I scan down like a little bit and then I lose all of the questions that I didn't get to. You long there? I mean, I don't blame you for longing there. I don't blame you. I mean, this is a decent candle. It just didn't have enough volume really to say that we swept any type of liquidity. But I mean, look at this. This is nice. I mean, this is a nice candle. The entry off that high. Let's see if you get the entry off that high, 30. I mean, that's 30 cents. That's a pretty tight entry. That definitely gives you the opportunity to get stopped out and find another place to get back in, which you'd be identifying S4 to do that. And now, instead of still holding, through here, you've just got another opportunity. Now you're just waiting for that opportunity to set up and set up a little bit better than it did here. And that's by sweeping lower, picking up volume and pushing immediately back higher and putting in a nice bottoming wick to tell you, okay, we found a buyer. This candle I don't like because it doesn't tell me we found a buyer because there's no wick. It just tells me we pushed down, probably took some profit taking, move back up, and then we're making a next leg down. Let's see. Tom, you're able to take R4 breakout call and MCL, nice. And then into R6, perfect. Execution was poor last week, so happy to bounce back. Well, good. I mean, Mondays, I would, if you had that nice of a trade, I'd just stop today and maybe look over that. And then maybe go back to some of the trades you missed last week, the losses or whatever, and see what was different. Compare that. But use this time. You got one good trade in today on a crappy day like today. I'd call it a day and just go and review. Be comfortable about it. Get some confidence after today. Come back tomorrow when hopefully there's a little bit more volatility. Let's see. SMCI, long or short? Oh, come on. Did SMCI split? I thought it was higher. I thought it was more expensive than this, or did it just drop? Weekly. Good Lord, why does it do that? Oh, it just dropped. Okay. That's a big drop. Dang. Yeah. Weekly looks bearish. So I would say the weekly chart so far looks a little bearish. Our daily chart, we filled the gap here. So do we push higher to get into this liquidity and then to here and maybe a little bit into that gap? I feel like looking at the weekly chart, we might need to get back and fill this gap through here. So it's not looking quite bullish yet. The 4-hour chart, stuff some highs, but we are in a gap on the 4-hour chart. Let me turn. Let's see, we are in a gap on the 4-hour. So I mean, this is a nice S3 long. It looked like it tapped right into that gap, but now that gap's mitigated, so we're kind of looking even further down here. If we can't start breaking these highs, this engulfing candle's a problem. What do we look like on the 30? Yeah, still another nice big gap here on the 30. Still holding that, but we mitigated it. But man, I mean, we have a lot of areas of issue right up through here where you're going to expect to find another big seller. You got your nice move higher here off S3, but I'm just seeing a lot of problems to move higher. These are one of those situations where you need to gap up and open the next day and kind of sweep back down and then fill that liquidity and then run higher. But it's still looking like if it's just going to grind and not get some news and try to gap up, it's got a lot to kind of grind through. So it's looking a little bullish to me. But the move today off S3 was nice. You kind of just be expecting it maybe to hopefully get up through that high. It is holding. I mean, we're getting some nice bullish price action here. And struggling here a little bit, holding over VWAP. Yeah, we've got this area of consolidation and distribution to try to make it back through, and it looks like we rejected the first time into it. But you're going to have some issues here. So I wouldn't long in through here. I don't think it's a short yet. If you can get back up into this area and something can set up, it could maybe be a short, and that would have been a hard long off S3 to take. I would have liked to have seen this long come back and reconsolidate over here like it did here to then take an entry, but you didn't quite get back down there. This is just a bad area to try to trade. If you're wanting to go long, you need to get up over this consolidation, come back retest, but then you're longing right into R3. So I don't know. I'd probably leave it alone today through this point. But if you are long, over this high is where you'd definitely be looking to take some partials. If you are short, just trying to think of where you wouldn't have gotten short, like this would have been kind of the best area. If you are short, I mean, just have your stop over that high. What's the book look like? Oh, the book does look bullish, but there's just a lot of issues I saw going through here and trying to work through that. We're not getting a ton of volume either, so we're going to need volume to get through there. Or we're just going to kind of hit some areas, fade back, maybe make a higher low, push back, fade back, make a higher low, and then start grinding through there. But at the moment, it's just not really getting any price action, and this just isn't a good area to try to take a trade. Let's see. Side tangent to Michigan, but I've been rooting for JJ. Yeah, I love JJ, man. He's been doing pretty good with the Vikings. He's great. Love to see him doing well. It's nice to have another, big time Michigan quarterback out there because after Brady retired, we really didn't have one. So now we've got JJ to root for. Hopefully he takes over. Let's see. Big wrestler. Oh, you're talking to. And Yeah, Apple definitely, Alex did need, it looked to me like it needed some more bids to come through. Where's PLTR? It's still getting close to that sweep. It's man, MYM just went short off of R3, but I didn't like it, but it did clear. It did clear my engulfing candles I was looking at. Now that it's underneath that, maybe it's setting up for a long. It's getting down to S3, but it is a lower range. We'll see though. I might look back into that here in just a second and go over it. But come on, PLTR, make this sweet. I mean, this is the kind of consolidation you do want to see for this. And then we kind of get back into this area and then just bam, real quick. But the consolidation is looking pretty good. That's a nice candle, but it's not convinced me that a buyer is coming yet. We need that hard sweep down, hard sweep, something like this but deeper, and then a V-shaped reaction to it, like sweep down, and then it looks just like a V, just like that. Four corners. The cost for Atlas, it will be cheaper if you get it now. Atlas will be coming out at least by the end of the month, and the price will go up to $99 a month. But if you go ahead and sign up in Trading Terminal now, you will be grandfathered in, and your cost won't increase when that comes out. So it'd be grandfathered into that cost. And I would recommend for any of you interested in it and wanting to try it out to just get Trading Terminal now, and you'll get it at the cheapest price because once it comes out, the prices are going to start to go up. Let's see. Do we have? Yes, Laughing Stock. I will be in the webinar room at 12 p.m. going over Bookmap. It doesn't show in the calendar. I know they changed the name of it, but yeah, I'll be in there. I'm in there every Monday at 12 p.m. to talk about visual price action and order flow and just go over how things are. But we're going to be getting into lunchtime, and it's probably going to be super boring today, but I do have some videos to show. So I did get some videos ready this weekend to show everybody in there. So come in and ask some questions in there, and we'll talk, and maybe something will set up. Maybe we'll get a little bit of something in the lunchtime, but I do have some fun videos to show you guys this time. NVIDIA. Ooh, nice move on NVIDIA. I'm surprised I didn't bring the market up with it. That's interesting. That's a nice move. Right in. Let's see, higher range, narrow, right into R4 or S3. Oh yeah, it started way down. That's a crazy move. Let me bring it up. So where are we now? I'll go to 30. Ooh, this is looking good. Let's see. So put in this nice 30-minute candle and a break over that high. We're filling in this gap. We're really not respecting this 15-minute. I mean, these large gaps here at all. So now we're setting up right around S4. Let's see. Okay, let me go back. So trying to put in a nice gap here. And if it can get maybe back down to S6, maybe that's a little bit too deep, but S6 is looking like it's got a lot of support. Putting in this gap here. I need to reset all these. I don't have these set up like this anymore. I mean, S4 is looking pretty good here. I wish it had a 15-minute gap. And you have to wait another 10 minutes for this to close and then a drop in here. Ooh, it's right over the high, the previous high of day. That's kind of looking like a nice area. Getting into the 5, that may be enough. We hold over. S4. So now we're in here. I would definitely want to see a test back into S4, a touch into these gap right here on the 1 minute, because our book is very bullish. Very nice bullish book. I think that's still, is it still well within the range for NVIDIA today? Yeah, you have a little bit. Looks like you got all the way up to R3 to run for about the ATR. So what would I want to see here? I would want to see a weak selling retest back into S4. It can even dip a little bit under. Really, it can get maybe even about into this area, this engulfing candle. What does that look like on the 5? Yeah, it's still within a nice gap on the 5. Maybe this would be about my limit for a long in here, but a dip back down into here on weak selling. I like the support that's coming in. So where is that? Like 60? So we do have that good support in here. We have a nice ladder to the top side, but I would want to see that dip back into here, kind of what I was talking about on PLTR, just a sweep into this liquidity lower and then a bottoming tail, and then the push starts higher. But you'd want to see some volume on here to let you know a big buyer did come in, and there is a big buyer there. I wouldn't want to see weak volume buy candles off of here. So, but we are, if we could kind of just keep dipping lower, and then sweep and set up, then that could be a good long. And you're looking really just to play up into R3. So you'd want to get really, really greedy with your entry. You know, if that's why I'd say, man, if they could get down there, you could get like around $1.50 or so. But, you know, you're really looking just to try to hold that right into R3 because you even have monthly R3 right there as well, which if they can run up this high, that may be the place to look for, maybe a fade back down into the range off of this area. But this would be the area I'd be greedy. I'd be greedy looking, set an alert there, just come back and look at it once it tests that area. See, MYM is trying to dip down into S3, so keep an eye on that one. Let's see. Yeah, Toby, it does look nasty. That's why I'm looking for it to get out of range and find a new support area and then come in with volume because there's no volume. So once it gets down to S3, I need to see that volume come in, which indicates that we could have a big buyer. And let me bring it up. PLTR yet? Is it? No, not yet. Whoa, that's not what I wanted. So the one good thing about kind of the crappy volume that's going on today is I like the area that S3 settled in. And so if we can push down lower and start getting a big buyer coming in, we can clear through these levels pretty easily. And I would just be looking to probably scalp this back to VWAP. You know, R3 would be great, but really it would be a buy down here and then scalping in through these highs, these swing highs and areas back to VWAP. So this would just be a scalp for me, but it's out of range. And yes, we did clear the low a day after 10:30. So I'm aware of that. So that's why I'm just looking to push it back into range. And then just anything that gives me a signal that the selling's starting to come back in, I just cut it. But, you know, sweep down, but then yes, playing it out of range and looking for volume to come in out of range. Because we do have some selling volume coming in here, but we did lift up off of that. So we're getting some accumulation. Just like to see this fade back down a little bit lower for me. Yeah, PLTR starting to lift there. It just needs to get down here.
Nathan.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I wasn't sure if my mic was still on. So
Oh.
yeah, good. Back.
What are you looking at, Peter?
Was watching AMD, one of my favorite go-tos, but I was hoping it'd actually get back to a high of day, but it's sort of, I mean, it's technically at a high of day, but it's not as high as it was pre-market. So anyway, It's
Do
choppy
you,
here.
do
And
you know how
Nvidia
much
though,
over the years, do you actually know how much volume you brought into AMD? Just you yourself?
I don't
No,
actually. I mean,
I
it's
wonder if
not
they do. They need to
it's
send
not
you a check.
significant. No, come on,
Oh,
man.
I
Like
bet I bet it's significant
my volume
because
compared to the overall volume of AMD,
yeah, just
it's
I
not.
think it would be a lot lower over the last, like 8 years or so.
I
So
do
they,
I do trade it a lot. I'll give you that.
but I think you've gotten all of us. Like I have the Mag 7, but I have AMD in there because I'm familiar with it because you've always talked about it. So
There you go. Well, so it is one of my favorite go-tos. Uh, but yeah, anyways, right now it's just chopping sideways. I like Nvidia better for the moment, but it's Nvidia's also at a weird spot where it's at a high of day, but it's actually below the previous day close. So, it's not a good play for me because it could very well go and try and regain that Friday close.
yeah, and I was just I mean yeah, it's like really extended it up in the top of premium for the day. So if I was going to long it, it need to come back a little bit, at least down to that
Right.
S4 area. And really, you're only looking at like $1.50 run up into R3, which would be
Yep.
where we struggled, and that's its ATR. And so you wouldn't be really looking for a huge move. I mean, it's not you don't go max size on that kind of trade. You're just looking to bake, a little bit out of it just to see if it can run for you.
Correct. Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff that's, just to me, sort of mid-range type moves here, which makes it difficult. It doesn't mean I have no active trade opportunities on the go at the moment. So
Yeah, it's just a poop day.
Poop. It
Just
wasn't
a
that
poop
bad at the
day.
open. There were some moves at the open I felt anyways, but they weren't easy. Like nothing really sort of I mean, look, there's one or two things. Maybe I should say that. Like if you caught open right at the open, then but that whole move lasted all of 4 minutes, right? That was it. PLTR had a good sort of run about 20, well, maybe 5, 10 minutes after the open. But then it got a little tougher. I'm glad that Carlos got a short on it because that was good. But yeah, I didn't. I was short biased on Tesla. I tried it right off the open, and then just it stopped me out. And unfortunately, it hasn't really done much since. I'm impressed that Tesla's now a $420 stock. It's
It's like I have friends. Do you have friends that always like ask you, should I buy Tesla now? Like, is this a good place to buy Tesla? And I like my response every time is if you want to use it long term, I mean, yeah, just get it, but don't look at it. It will drive you
right,
crazy. So like don't
right,
put a lot of money into it. Don't look at it because I
yeah,
mean, you look at the weekly and like look at these swings. Like now it's back up here with a huge gap, but it could be back down here just this quickly. Like
yep,
over a month and a half, it could be back down here at 220. But how many people then bought, sold, and then it's getting up here and this accumulation here. They're still doing that, buying and selling because it's such a wide range, and now it's breaking. They're like, oh no, like just don't look at it. Like you believe in the company, you want to have it, like don't look at it though.
yeah. I usually I try not to answer it when I get those types of questions, but when they sort of force me to answer, I keep telling, look, to me it depends on your time frame, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, if you're looking to buy it for 1 to 2 years, then you better figure out how to market time it because,
Hmm.
like you said, it's got such volatility that over a 2 year time frame, you could lose money on it just as easily as make money because it fluctuates that much. If you're looking to buy it 5 to 10 years, I ask you, how viable do you think Tesla's position is in the market, and how much are their other products going to be part of their revenue stream?
Yeah.
And then once you've answered that question, you got to think, how much do people think Tesla's position in the market is going to remain highly relevant? Because that's really going to dictate its price. Then you can make a decision to enter. And if you want to be a Buffett style and you're going to buy it for the long term, how much do you think Tesla is really going to be the future, like the leading car company 20 years from now?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
I don't
And
get
I
in
don't
that
know
depth. I'm
that.
just like, if you want to buy it and just don't look at it. Like,
Right. No, I
if
agree with you.
know
That's
how
an
much
easier
you're willing to
answer.
lose on it. how much you're
Right.
willing to lose on it, and then but don't look at it day to day. You will go crazy. I mean, look at these
Yeah.
swings just off of today. Like this is what it does. It just drives people nuts. But everybody loves it. They love to try
There
to catch
is.
all these and hold through them.
Well, Elon's good at spinning a good story, anyways. And
And
so
I
far, as you say, he's usually backed it up. Not in the time frame he said he was going to do things, but so far he's actually delivered on almost everything. But I mean, if you look, like he told us in 20, he told us by 2022 we'd have fully automated self-driving cars.
Mhm.
I mean, he's has made a lot of promises that have not come to fruition, you know, but he's sort of delivered. I mean, I am actually surprised at um how what do I want to say, how well built his vehicles are. Because you got to remember, like, what is it, 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, when he started the car company, everyone was like, it can't be done. No one successfully started a new car company in 30 years, and it can't happen. And he definitely proved that wrong. So he's not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom, and he's definitely made it successful, and I give him credit for that. But yeah, it's a tough one because its valuation
It's
is
the
already nuts.
it's the craziness of him sometimes that just like really puts me off. Like it
Yeah,
just it's like too much. He's like he's too manic at times, like for me. And I'm like,
I
come
think
on,
he's
guy.
what he started to do on some of his companies. I think is a good thing, right? Where he started to figure out he needs to get good managing executives in place.
Hmm.
And, if he can put himself in a position of sort of the visionary, he's the strategist, if you will, right? He's got the big vision. Then he's got to bring in other people who are going to execute, but he's got to trust them to execute. And that's always tough
Hmm.
for somebody who feels that I could run this company. Well, theoretically you could. Practically, you've proven that you don't actually do a good job of running companies.
Well, I mean,
So,
and you're the best one to kind of talk about that and judge. I don't know if everybody here knows kind of your background and and how you've run companies before and done
yeah,
things. So I leave that expertise to you and
yeah.
those kind
It's
of things
it
I don't know.
It's been interesting during my career having the opportunity to have worked with a lot of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies as well as CEOs of startups. And there's definitely different personality types, I would say, in those two types of, corporate leaders. But there's lots of room in between as well. And but one common thing I've seen is that most CEOs of startups that are very good at conceptualizing an early stage company and starting them are usually very poor at actually managing the company. And as much as I think Zuckerberg is like a wacko, I admire the fact that he's managed to make that transition, it looks like, for the most part, which is very rare. Most people crash and burn at some point. You're either very good at starting a company, conceptually, getting people going, energy, but soon as you
Hmm.
get a corporation, now you've got bureaucracy and rules and policy and procedures, and that's usually the stuff that sort of new CEOs like they hate. That's why I built my own company because I didn't want to follow the rules. Right?
But
Now
then
you're
once it
building
goes
your own.
public, yeah, but then once it goes public, like you have to. Like now
Right.
you have rules that you have to
We
follow.
don't even have to go public necessarily. Like when a company gets to a certain size, there's a size at which you need a lot of the employees to do standard things, right? Run the machine line, do the factory work. Like
Hmm.
there's a procedural and policy set that any large organization must have because people are unreliable. So you need people to follow rules, but it's tough to have a management team that refuses to follow rules and an organizational team that needs to follow rules and have them work together. So it's yeah, it's always interesting to watch that transition.
Do
And
you like NVIDIA's CEO?
Nvidia CEO, I actually have no idea how he actually operates. Right? I mean, his public persona is one of leather jackets and quarterly presentations, but there's got to be something good going on. I have to admit, I try not to follow CEO journeys anymore for the most part because uh, look, I have the unique perspective of having. I actually grew up as an executive in an entertainment company, so I've actually been backstage with people like Prince and
Wow,
uh,
nice.
and Garth Brooks and all sorts of Aerosmith and like I've seen these people and I learned early on in my career, just to summarize it for you, people are people. I don't care how famous you are or how rich you are, they're still people, and they come with all the frailties and failures and stuff of any other person. Sort of the old expression, they put their pants on one leg at a time, like anyone else. So
Yeah,
I
I've
don't have
had
a lot of. Go ahead.
a lot of friends that have played in the NFL, and like a lot of like famous friends that have played
Right.
in the NFL, and like being around them, people don't understand. They're just people too. Like
Right.
yeah, they're just
Exactly.
like everybody else
So,
for the most
so
part.
so CEOs, sort of like actors or musicians or anybody. There's nothing extra special. Often they're brighter than average, and they're able to channel that into a specific, area of capability, which I think is laudable. But I've also learned that, they usually have their flaws, and those that do best are those that acknowledge their flaws and usually are willing to compensate for them, whether that's by
Hmm.
hiring people that have the skills they don't have and willing to accept their expertise in those spaces, or developing themselves such that they sort of make their weak parts stronger. But not everybody does that, right? Some people just think they're invincible and I'm good at everything because I was successful here. I can do anything I want. And I find that just depressing to watch. So that's why I like trading. I can just focus on stocks. I don't have to worry about
Oh, it like
humans.
this is the best profession, honestly. I mean, the part that's kind of been not, I guess not a little bit of a struggle, but definitely new to me, not ever owning my own business, has been now being successful at this, now making a business out of it, and like doing all
Right,
the business stuff. Luckily, my fiance, she's she's owned her own business for a while now, and she's very good at
right.
it. And her dad owned his own business. He was a civil engineer, and he owned a big civil engineering business in Florida. And so I do have those, which is great.
Yeah,
But it's like you
that's
start
good.
getting into that, and you're like, man, this is different. I wasn't kind of
Yeah.
expecting this, and looking for that kind of
Well,
responsibility.
that's good if your wife comes from or your fiance comes from an entrepreneurial
Mhm.
family, because that's important. That there's a mindset there that it's more difficult to teach. It's good if she has that family experience because you know how inherently uncertain trading is. You can be
Mhm.
very successful for some months, and then other months it could just not work, and you got to
Yeah, it's like
stick through
farming.
that. It's like farming, but it was also like being an entrepreneur, right? Where you can have a great idea and you're not necessarily failing to execute, but sometimes things don't go well for a period of time, and living with that uncertainty is extremely stressful, especially if
Mhm.
you're not used to it. And that's where people in corporate worlds often don't understand. The corporate has its own type of stress, but it's very different than an entrepreneurial type of stress. And I find trading, sort of combines those elements in in different parts, but most of it is that entrepreneurial type of stress where, you don't like at the end of the day, there is no paycheck that's guaranteed to you, right? You could
Yeah.
literally work all day and get paid negative dollars.
Hmm.
And that's hard for
Yeah.
some people to deal with. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's different. I mean, everybody wants read Andrew's book, and I want to do this. This is a life I want, because the biggest thing that you get that paid back, whether you make money during the day or not, is you're going to gain back a lot of time to go do the things you love. You're going to spend less
right,
time, making your income and your way of life, and able to go enjoy those other aspects of it that you've been wanting to do. But, it does come with a little bit of give and take, on that other side. You are running your own business. So you also need to start understanding that that's going to be a thing. So do you want to just this to be kind of a side hustle to make some extra income? Or do you want to do this for a living? And, this is your main way of making income. It becomes a little bit different there. That's kind of the
absolutely.
the area I've gotten into now. But that's why this community is so great too, because there's so many people here that are already successful and you can talk to and understand things better and don't have to go through as many growing pains.
Yep. Nvidia just went green, and then I see it's now red again, but it
Yeah,
did make it up there as expected while we were talking. Matthew Henson, like to welcome you to Lambos and Garbage Trucks.
yeah, awesome,
Welcome.
Matthew. Thank you.
That's always good to be part of that community.
And I was going to say, Gar, I probably won't get to your question again about PLTR, but I've got YM here, and I was wanting to get down to S4. This is a little bit of what I was looking for on PLTR to get down to S4. But if you want to go back in the recording, um, and listen to it, if you have any questions, send me an email, Nathan@variabletraders.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or anything about it. I'm terrible, Peter, at getting through all the questions. I talk too much about one
Uh,
thing.
that's all right. That happens. Welcome. Musavi, we're not going to tell you whether you should buy anything or not. We're not an advisory service. We're not going to try and suggest that. We just we talk more about trading patterns, intraday trading patterns, very short term. So and even then, we're not going to say take this trade, go long, go short here. It's more about what do we see because everybody sees the world a little differently. Everybody needs to trade in a way that reflects their ability to manage and measure the markets. So,
Yeah, and trading's very personal, guys. Even though you may be into Camarilla pivots, you may be into watching visual price action and order flow, your trading is going to be different than mine, no matter what, or different than Thor's or different than Peter's. Even though you may trade the same things in similar setups, how you do it is going to be different. You're going to also find other traders that you kind of connect with and like their style and how they do things, and you're going to add that into your trading. So to say you go long here or do this or do that, how we do it or how I do it may be completely different than what you're comfortable with. And so you
right,
kind of need to gauge that. We're just here to kind of tell you this is what we look at. This is our setup. This is how we're seeing things, and mostly just provide you the education, especially with stocks. There's not a lot of really any YouTube channels, I think, that do this live every day, looking at the stocks and futures and sitting here, answering questions for all of you guys and interacting. So, we're just here. It's information and you're here to learn. Like that's what you guys are mostly here for, just to learn, find your way and what works for you.
or maybe you're here to be entertained. We'll try and do that too.
Are you not entertained? I could dress up like a gladiator, I guess. Thor probably would with me too. We could do something. We should, Peter. You and Brian usually dress up for Halloween. Should we do that this year?
we Sure. I
I think,
usually
okay.
find
I think I can
I
do
mean
that.
it's same.
I've got a costume that I wear.
Okay. There you go.
I
Well,
think Thor will. Thor would definitely do it. Man, look how crappy this
uh,
price action is. This is just like mind numbing.
Well, like I said early on, if you guys weren't here this morning before the market opened, don't forget that we've got the big thing this week is the Fed rate announcement, which is coming out Wednesday. So 2 o'clock is when the actual rate number comes out, and then 2:30 is usually when the press conference starts and Powell gives his little speech, and then we got the Q&A session. That is what the market is waiting for largely, right? We're waiting to understand whether the rates will come out as anticipated. And actually, I didn't even check today. Let's check right now what the analysts are thinking. Analysts right now are thinking overwhelmingly that we are going to get a 1/4 point rate cut on Wednesday. So 96.1% of all analysts think there'll be a 1/4 point cut. Only 3.9% think there'll be a half point rate cut, and nobody thinks there's going to be no rate cut or an increase. So look, the market will lose its mind if we have a no rate cut because it's already priced in, right? The market's at these highs, already assuming that the rates are going to go down at least a 1/4 point. If
Oh,
anything other than
whoops.
that happens, we're going to see
Is
big,
that
big
me?
movement. What's that? Is that you? Anyway, so yeah, so Wednesday, so basically between now and that rate announcement on Wednesday afternoon, we could see diminished volumes, a little, sort of sluggish price action, even if the volume is there overall, because I think that a lot of people are just going to be waiting, right? You're not going to want to make big moves. You're not going to put a lot of money deep into something or necessarily pull it out until you see where that rate goes, right? So most of the positioning's already been done. People are just waiting for that rate. So things will still move. They always do, but they probably won't move with the same sort of excited exuberance we can sometimes get during the day. I think until after that rate happens on Wednesday. Now, I could be wrong. Who knows? We could get a big news announcement. There could be a war that is stopped or breaks out in the world. We have to always sort of allow a little bit of wiggle room for those big events, world events. But barring that, it's probably going to be pretty quiet between now and then.
Yeah, I put up the webinar room and somebody had music playing in there from last time. I was like, what in the heck is that?
Okay. Thor, I think, when's Thor? Thor's moving house, and is he back tomorrow, or is he still?
Yes, he is back tomorrow. And Spot
All right.
Gamma will be here tomorrow. So
Oh, there you
JT from
go.
Spot Gamma will be here.
Beauty.
OpEx week too this week. So this is a big week. Friday will have OpEx options
Awesome.
expiration. So this is going to be a big week for options. Great decision. So, get ready for some stuff to happen later this week for sure.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, on that, guys, why don't we look forward till tomorrow? I think we're at noon, Nathan. So
Yeah. And if you're part of the BBT Elite, come join me for, my visual price action order flow class in the webinar room. I'll
there
be
you
in
go.
there answering some more questions and talking about price action.
Sounds good. Take care, everybody.
Sweet guys.
Have a
Have a good one.
great day.
Appreciate it.